show
Yeah,
up.
man, we
soon.
got cell phones.
Oh yeah. It's
Just show up for a second and be like, it's funny because it's a sex number, and then just leave. And then just leave. That's fine. That's totally acceptable. It's a sex number, and then just.
Hopefully everything's working.
Well,
Let's
Alright.
get right.
Looks like
into
it
the
is.
news.
Keemstar.
Killer Keemstar. Let's get right into the news.
Let's get right into the news.
Alright.
What?
Am I hitting the
What
go live
is-
button?
You're hitting the go live button?
Am I?
Yeah, go for it. Fucking
Yeah,
go
if you
ahead.
want. I mean,
Full steam
well,
ahead.
wait, aren't we,
Don't we
Just-
need to introduce ourselves or something?
Yeah, and I thought we were only just doing this on the Level Unlocked
That's what I thought too.
Twitch. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know we were only doing it there.
I mean,
Hmm.
it,
You don't
I,
have to. If you're up,
yeah,
you're
you
up.
don't have to. It doesn't matter.
Alright. I already
Don't
went
let us
live.
stump your creative juices.
This is still a new thing for us.
Like we all can do it. It just auto hosts randomly
Yeah.
somebody.
Yeah,
So
that's
it
what I
doesn't
thought.
really matter.
That's what I thought.
Rhoda, since I'm not going live tonight, send me your Facebook thing and I'll fucking secondary watch party that shit.
Okay.
Secondary watch party.
Yep,
You
I
can
still
have,
got a
like,
couple more
multiple
buttons to
people watch
push
party and shit.
to host it, or to like host. Yeah, to host it.
Let's get right into the news.
Alright.
Fucking, oh dude, I didn't get to watch the episode today, but it's supposed to be a banger.
What, drama alert?
Apparently, Rice Gum and his girlfriend had broken up, and he had them sign a contract. It's kind of a shit human thing to do. I didn't watch it, so I don't know all the details. I mind you, but apparently, it's to see how much money she owes him. It's really fucked up from just the small.
That is
like,
pretty
minute
fucked up.
here. The
You've heard?
They both fucking signed it. I don't know, but he's having a lawyer on the show.
Is that like a prenup, but not for marriage?
It's a prenup to not have money wasted, I guess. I don't fucking know. It sounds kind of fucked up.
It's the non-marriage version of a prenup.
Yeah, pretty much. To make
All
sure
right.
everyone goes in with what they came with and goes out with.
All right, so I guess we should start.
I'm not ready.
Yeah, I guess so.
All
Who wants to
right.
do the intro?
I mean, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
The one with the
We could
longest
all
beard.
just
I can
we
do
could
it.
all just scream at the same time because okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What's going on, everybody?
Podcast.
Yeah.
Level unlocked podcast. Oh god.
Why are
We
you
don't
so
have the
bummed?
geeches.
My screen timed out. My computer timed out. Hello everybody. Welcome to episode 67 of the Level Unlocked podcast.
67
We're
episodes.
2 away
It's a lot of them.
from the sex number. 2 away.
It's a little weird because like with 4 people, it's like normal, but we all seem to be a little off pace. I
It's
don't know what it is.
you know, when we do this as much as like for as long as we have, and there's even a slight kink in the wrench, it kind of screws some things.
Okay.
It kind of like gets us out of our groove.
Mhm.
I don't know how to do this
So
fucking
weird.
intro. I've had Walker do this intro forever.
The only
That's
intro I
fine.
remember how to do was the Bombasticast intro, and that's not this intro. even
That's
though
definitely not this.
There's no comic books in here.
Well, hey, welcome to the Level Unlocked podcast, your greatest place on the internet for the latest gaming news, pure randomness, and movie stuff. I think that's how it goes, right?
Something along those
Yeah.
lines,
Yeah.
James.
Sure.
Pure
Hey.
randomness? Yeah.
Notice someone
is this
isn't
doing
here,
that?
and that's why we're all like kind of discombobulated right now.
Yeah,
The
you
fucking,
guys
like-
on track.
Yeah.
That one? There it is.
So like
Uh,
once the groove does get going, we're probably gonna get tangenty.
Oh, probably, probably. first off, just want to give a big shout out. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms that listen to this
Yeah.
podcast.
Hey, yo, mom.
True.
You're 20 out of 10. Without moms raising shitlords like us for 18 years, we wouldn't have had this great podcast. So, the big ups to the moms out there.
Truth.
Hell yeah.
Super
So-
truth.
We got a lot of news to cover today, so let's get right into the weeks. Who wants to go first?
I can go because I did a little bit. I played some new games. I talked about beating Code Vein last time.
You did.
I'm playing Code Vein again. Because I want to 100% that game as hard as possible. So I'm searching for every little possible thing I can find. Other than that, I downloaded a game called which one do I want to talk about first? I'll talk about Naruto first. I downloaded Naruto Road to Boruto Shinobi Striker, which is pretty dope so far. It's kind of like an MMO kind of style, but also like a four-player versus. That's like basically how you would have played the 1v1, but it's team-based, which is super dope. So far, I got my ass handed to me because I don't know if I just ignored everything I was supposed to, and I just ended up playing against people that were like level 30 and 40, and I'm level 3. So I got fucked up a lot by some hard-ass, like fucking fireball jutsus and shit that I haven't learned yet. So yeah, that was fun. I also played a game called BeamNG.Drive, which is a soft physics driving simulator, which is actually a lot of fun. I'm going to be streaming that soon because I still don't know what the fuck I'm doing, even though I played a little bit more after that one day. And it's kind of just figure it out. Right now I'm just doing free roam, which is build like the tracks and shit you want to, and experiment with like different kinds of gravity, different like weather conditions. It's really cool. It's really interesting. I saw it on a video a couple days ago, and I was just laying in my bed looking at it, and like that looked really interesting. So I was like, I want to play this. So it is a lot of fun. Other than that, played some Siege with the boys. Your computer time out again?
No, I'm on a different website.
Oh, okay. But yeah, other than that, not a ton this week, realistically. I don't think I did very much else besides play a couple different video games. I believe, well, I played Risk. I beat my buddy in Risk.
Fuck that game.
I had
that
fun.
game to
I
hell.
liked it. I
I'll-
was not having fun until I started winning.
The best thing that I can say about it is that I didn't like it, but it sure definitely was a way to waste an hour.
I'm glad you guys had fun. That's all I have to say.
Well, Mark, you had fun. You were playing Animal Crossing the entire time.
Yeah,
I did enjoy that. I got a lot of fruit.
nice. So do you think you would have enjoyed Risk more if you didn't play it every single day of high school, like you said?
Well, it's not even that. It's just the game itself kind of pisses me off. Like the tendency, or how most games of Risk go for me, is that you play with a handful of people, and like there's usually like 2 or 3 of them that know how to play it fairly well, and then there's like 2 or 3 that don't know how to play it like fuck all.
Yeah.
And they just like are coming along with it. And then there's usually like 1 or 2 people that just demolish everyone the entire time. I'm just like,
Yeah.
why am I even playing this? Like,
That's fair.
I get 2 new people, and this person has fucking 25 up here. Like, are you serious? Like, I don't know what to do here.
That's fair.
Yeah, there's
That was
always
my
those
biggest problem. It's just
Mhm.
that game.
there's always those sleepers that have been, just waiting
Yep.
in the wings to just demolish people in Risk.
They're like a spider who's just chilling in their web, waiting until someone wants to actually play Risk with them, and then they fucking wipe their life. Which is what I thought was going to happen until I somehow beat Brandon, because I think my only idea, because like, he was like, I don't know where I fucked up, and I don't know how I lost. My only idea is he got complacent, and I ended up holding a couple more territories consistently. So as I was getting like 25 or 30 people, he was getting like 4. Because I just had more area, and I somehow got really lucky. It was luck, I'm not gonna lie. He somehow messed up, and I got lucky and won, which was fun. It was a good time. I didn't think I was gonna win that. I thought I
It
was
was a
gonna
good
lose.
time when you started winning.
Yeah. Other than
Usually
that,
is.
not a whole lot. Watched a little bit about Elite Dangerous. I still don't know if I want to get that game or not. It seems interesting enough, but there seems like a lot of downtime in it, and I like to do things a lot. even like when you're doing some things, it just seems like you're flying into blackness. And I don't know how I feel about that. Other than that, I started fucking around with Ableton. Ableton's a lot of fun to mess with. I made a little bit of beats. I am working on a song, and I have to get I'm looking into getting a MIDI. I just don't want to spend money, but I need a MIDI. I need a MIDI. That's the word I'm looking for.
Now, what type of MIDI are you trying to get?
I don't know. Yeah.
That would be actually pretty handy. I have a couple pieces. I tried to use my MIDI kits to control my spaceship in Elite Dangerous.
Elite Dangerous, Jesus.
Okay, how does that work?
Of course you would.
It can be done. I just don't want to spend that much time doing it. But I did get a couple new things, which is kind of dope. That work really well.
You probably have to auto hotkey it all or something.
You got to write code for that, from what I've been able to find, anyways.
You probably have to get something that catches like MIDI inputs and
Yep.
somehow convert those inputs into something else that your game can read.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
it
that's
has to do that
exactly.
dynamically.
That seems like
that sounds
computer
like a headache.
stuff.
Yeah, you're on the right track. You basically have to get it so that when I spin a thing,
Spin.
it identifies that as a key press. And then once the number is attached to that key is assigned to it, then you can set it up as a macro in like auto hotkey or something.
Okay.
So it's I started digging into it. I got excited. I thought I was figuring it out, and then I got real sad because I realized that there's a whole nother step that's way beyond my pay grade.
Yeah, other than that, I've just, with Ableton and whatnot, I've kind of just been going to the School of Aimrate right now because he's been teaching me how to use it.
The good old school of aim, right?
He's been trying to get me to get into it like hard, and I am interested, and like I really like it, and he's been a good teacher so far. I haven't been on it again, besides a couple hours we were on it. I do want to get back into it. Might fuck around with that a little bit after, or I might play Siege. I don't know. I have to see where my brain's at. If I'm in like a creative, or I just want to kill people.
Pew pew.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, not a whole lot. I've been chilling. I've been listening to a lot more comic book stuff. And if I'm lucky, maybe I'll be getting the comic book podcast back up with my buddy. I just have to see if he's actually gonna do it.
Give it.
Because
Yeah.
it's just been it's been taking a while, and it's been like a year and a half since I've done anything with it, and I really miss talking about comics and just tangenting about comics. It's a lot of fun. Because I've been listening to a lot more of these comic book podcasts that I listen to, and I want to get back into that world. And me and my buddy, we just talk a lot about different possible scenarios and shit, and it's just something we're both into. But yeah, other than that, I've been listening to a lot of Joe Rogan, listen to a lot of podcasts. My week has not been very interesting.
Bro, that Elon podcast was pretty dope. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
How much of it did you end up watching?
Well, I can tell you exactly, actually, because I was listening to it. That's what I'll do. Whenever I leave here, I throw my AirPods in, and I just listen to a podcast while I'm walking around downstairs, or if I'm like going to the bathroom or something, I just throw my earbuds in and I'll listen to the podcast. I have so far listened to 1 hour and 24 minutes and 49 seconds. I'm almost done with it.
Did he start you? All right, so you heard him talking about the cybernetic stuff he's working on?
We're not going to talk about that yet, because that actually has to do with the topic I want to talk about later.
Oh, okay. I'm interested.
That's why
in that.
I don't know if you had heard my comment specifically, but the next stage in evolution, the next phase of existence. We're going to talk about that for sure.
I like the way he referred to it as like the third. He used some complicated term, but I know you know what I'm talking about.
The symbiosis.
Yeah.
Yep.
I look forward to talking about that one.
Yeah, because that's actually really interesting to me, and I don't know. Some people here might be into that, and some people here, I know you'll be into that. I don't know if the boys up top will, but we'll see. It's gonna be a fun time to talk about. But yeah, other than that, whoever else wants to go next, my week is over, and yeah, I'll talk about everything else I was gonna talk about at the end because it's kind of outro stuff.
Mm-hmm. I can go since my week.
Yeah, Jeff, go.
Okay. My week was not very super eventful at all. I've played a bit of Elite Dangerous. That's kind of been my thing lately. I feel like I have figured everything out. And I think that's where I start to fade on the game, to be honest with you. Is once I feel like I've kind of figured out all the stuff you can do. Yeah. It took like 2 days, but these ships on average can jump about 20 light years, and I took my ship out 3,000 light years. And one of the things that's kind of neat about the game is it uses the actual, as I've stated before, it uses the NASA star maps. So there are billions of stars with billions of planets to be discovered, and only 0.0003% of the universe in that game has been mapped. So I flew out about 3,000 light years, and as I was coming back in, I was the first to discover quite a few, like quite a lot. So now my name is in the solar system. Now my name is in the stars. So I think that was like my.
Hey, maybe you can make your claim to
Yeah.
fame in Elite Dangerous as like just the explorer, just goes
Yeah.
around exploring all this stuff.
That shit's boring, bro. I mean, at first it was cool because, I was seeing stuff I've never seen before. But then once you go to a couple places and you realize there's only so many assets, you're like, oh, everything's kind of the same. I mean, don't get me wrong. There were some really cool things out there, but yeah, after a while, it was kind of getting. I was just like, I want to be home, back in the bubble. So, but other than that, man, I've just been watching a lot of content on. Actually, it got me watching a lot of stuff. I went from Elite Dangerous like videos to Alien, which I watched quite a bit of it, and I'm intrigued by the newer series, because I haven't actually seen those movies, but I have a pretty good idea of what they're about. Covenant and what was the other one? Prometheus, and it's a neat. I didn't know before digging into it that, and I need to watch the movies, to be quite honest, but I didn't know that they took the focus off the xenomorph a little bit and kind of were more focused on the androids and the engineers. And it's just this whole, it takes it from like just being a horror movie, jump scare, gory thing to like the science behind where these things came from and what they're about. Very neat. And H.H. Geiger, I'm pretty sure that's his name. Is it H.R. Geiger?
Yeah, H.R. Geiger.
How they continue to try, because I watched a bunch of stuff like behind the scenes of it and whatnot, and how he didn't necessarily have his hands in it, but a lot of the art is still inspired by his work, which I don't even know if he's still with us. I seen a documentary not too long ago on him that was pretty good, and then that got me looking at black holes, and I learned a whole bunch about Event Horizons and like a bunch of space crap, man. So, and then moved on to started getting into some conspiracy theory stuff, but not your political stuff, more the fringe sciencey stuff. So I don't know, but that's kind of all I've been up to this week. I haven't really been looking at too much in the way of games. I've seen something called Scorn has popped up on my radar. It's actually inspired by that HR guy, Geiger, his art.
Geiger.
And it's weird. I tried looking up videos like, what the hell is this game even supposed to be about? But it kind of falls in the same vein as far as the artistic direction. It's got its roots in Geiger, but it also reminds me of Agony. So if you're into that kind of game, it's weird. But and then I also discovered a new. Have you guys heard of Siren Head?
Yeah.
So apparently he's the new Slenderman, basically.
It's a meme.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, he's the new Slenderman. Itch.io has a bunch of games people are coming out with that highlight him as a character.
Have you seen the memes where it's like a very like almost it's a guy with a camera looking over at like a cityscape, and in the background there's like a silhouette of like a giant thing walking around with sirens for heads.
It's weird.
No,
I think
looks
that's
ridiculous.
yeah. I think I think Slenderman is way more believable. Like, it's easier to accept. Like they're both modern. I don't know what you would call those.
They're creepypastas. Really.
Yeah, they're modernized. I mean, but even the character of Slenderman has some of its I don't know if you look up Slenderman lore. It was created recently, but there's also reference to that character in ancient or like old paintings and stuff. So it's Siren Head is a lot less believable than like Slenderman or something, but kind of neat. People are playing with it. You can create. There's some people out there that have made some very ambient. What is that? When you like horror games that are atmospheric. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, atmospheric.
Atmospheric games, horror games around it that are kind of cool. And if your guys aren't familiar with it, I got some people hanging out in the chat. If you guys aren't familiar with it, itch.io is a website that aggregates games that are typically free, but there are a lot of like indie games. Actually, it's almost exclusively indie games.
It is exclusive, yeah.
And
indie games.
Bro, if you dig deep enough, or you probably don't even have to dig very deep for it, but they got one of my favorite games is the Courage the Cowardly Dog horror game.
Nice.
And it's actually really fun. It's based on that episode, Return the Slab or suffer the consequences. That's the story of that game. It's really good.
It's my slab.
I do recommend it. But other than that, man, just being a potato, pretty much. How about you, James? What have you been doing this week? How's your week going, buddy?
You know the usual. Animal Crossing. Not Resi, shit. FF7.
Final Fantasy. Yeah, Final Fantasy.
Okay, so I got to the Honeybee Inn, and I saved Tifa from Don Corneo. Game's fucking great. The game is
I'm glad you're
fantastic.
enjoying yourself, brother.
I love it so much. That game is top fucking quality. Yeah, no, that game's so fantastic. We're heading back to Sector 7 now, because the Turks are coming in and gonna blow up the plate.
Oh shit.
So
You been having a good time with that game still?
oh yeah, still I'm loving it so much. It's gonna be tough for another game to come along and be this year and beat it as the game of the year for me. It's gonna be hard.
It's gorgeous. It definitely looks good.
Yeah, it makes me want to buy an 8K TV for the next one.
Is it?
Because the next one will probably have a PS5 version that'll support 8K. And, well, fuck, I gotta see what Cloud looks like. I gotta see all of Cloud's pores.
and brilliant 8K.
I gotta see that scene where Sephiroth yeets a materia at Cloud and T-pose flies out of the room. I gotta see that in 8K. I mean, come on.
Right. Well, I'm glad you're still enjoying it, man. I mean, it definitely looks gorgeous. How many hours would you roughly say you can get out of the Final Fantasy VII remake?
I'm about 18 hours in. I know people that have spent, at least out of my friends that have beaten it, they've gotten about 50 to 60 hours.
Really?
Yeah. So it's a full-fledged game, and I don't know if they're going in as depth as I am, where I am doing everything, or trying at least to do everything.
You're trying to 100% it, huh?
Pretty much. Because I'm really enjoying it. And
now,
I probably will go back and play it after I'm done streaming it, playing it again.
Oh, really?
To do any cleanup.
Replay value. What's your favorite aspect of it thus far? Because you played the one for PlayStation. You played the original one,
yeah.
right before you started playing this, right?
Yeah, and that Let's Play is going to be starting up again soon.
Okay. You think you're going to be able to go back?
I think I can. I'm used to playing like older games,
Okay.
and you got to think prior to the middle of last year, I never played FF7.
Right.
So I played all these other games, all these other RPGs that have really innovated the genre and, tuned some stuff and made it more user friendly. And then rolling back to this one, I've had no problems back to original Final Fantasy VII.
Gotcha.
And I'm far enough in there where everything's still new to me.
Now, what is it? What would you say like your favorite aspect of this is?
Whew. That's tough. Because I feel like this is the exact same way I feel about the original Resident Evil remake.
Okay.
Where it takes everything that was great about the original. The story, the characters, the setting, and just improve everything on it. You're getting tighter controls, you're getting a different play style, you're getting unbelievable music, you're getting great graphics, you're getting the more stuff to it.
Right, because it's almost like the original game would take these various chapters. Like you said, people are getting 60 hours out of this, and do you leave, what is it called, Shinra? Midgar, the city? That city is called Midgar?
That's the first city.
Do you even leave Midgar by the time the first disc, the first game is over? This iteration?
This iteration is entirely inside of Midgar. So
Wow.
what was maybe about 4 hours
Right.
of gameplay, if that, in the original, is now spread out to an entire game. And
That's
let me
insane.
tell you, the scene where they completely changed the scene where Cloud has to dress as a woman to infiltrate John Corneros. In the original, you had to do the little side quest for the shop owner to get the dress, and then do the squats for at the gym to win the wig.
Right.
In this one, you go to the Honeybee Inn, and Andrea, the head there, is just like, I'm gonna make you into the prettiest woman ever. And yeah, you do like a whole dancing sequence. It just turns into a rhythm game randomly, and Cloud just becomes hot.
Turns into a Chinese finger trap, huh?
Pretty much.
Wait, that's a move. That's more of a verb than a noun. Cool.
Yeah,
Well, I'm
no.
glad you're having a good time with it, man. How much more time do you think you personally have in Final Fantasy VII Remake?
On stream, I would probably say maybe another 20 to 30 hours.
Okay.
Who the hell knows what my final count is going to be?
Now, are you
Final
good?
time count.
Are you going to post any of the extra content on YouTube or something?
Possibly.
Like, are you gonna-
I've been thinking about it.
Yeah. That'd be cool. It wouldn't hurt just to turn the camera on, right?
No.
Right.
Not at all. Other
Well,
than
good
that,
shit.
Played Risk, suffered through Risk with the boys. Played Rainbow Six.
I hear that's a good game to. Is that another one where you gotta write a little contract before you start so you don't lose friends? Risk.
What Risk?
Yeah.
It can be.
Does it have Uno syndrome? Does that come with it?
Yeah.
I
You should play Risk with
Yeah.
us, Jeff. Like me and Brandon.
I can't play Risk with you. I'm a strategist. I will dominate.
Yeah.
I will. My ability to
Okay.
command an army and rain hell from the skies,
all right. R//
like
Humble
chocolate
Flex.
rain with a deep baritone voice.
Play Risk with us.
I have quite a few hours in Warhammer.
I mean, you gotta play Risk.
What the hell's
Come
that
on.
game called?
40K.
No,
War?
not 40K Total War.
Warhammer Total War.
Bro, I got it. I got it not too long ago, and
Did
The-
you download Shogun Total War 2? Or
Nah.
Total War Shogun 2?
I
I
have
think
never.
it's still free on Steam.
Is it? I'll do that
Yeah, I
right
think-
now
I
if
think
that's the
it's- I think
case.
I think
I
it's still
love the
free on
Total
Steam.
War games.
Oh, the Total War games are they're fantastic.
The Warhammer ones are super fun. Who they're making Frontier, the company that makes Elite Dangerous, is actually working on a 40K game.
Nice.
I heard that in a podcast this week.
With
I'll have
all
to dig
the-
into that a little deeper.
With all the Planet Zoo animals.
Yeah.
Right?
All the animals and all the park goers, that's what they're using for the 40K. Or for the army instead.
Rabid giraffes.
Well, like the Xenomorph, they have to come out walking.
So speaking of Planet Zoo, I played a game called 2 Point Hospital as well today.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Are you guys familiar with 2 Point Hospital?
Nope.
Yeah, I bought it when it came out.
Well, yeah, hey, it's on Game Pass now.
Is it?
Fuck.
Yeah. All right, so timed out.
It's
I'm
dark.
black. You can kind of see a little bit of the sticker here when it's when I go completely black. 2 Point Hospital is a hospital sim. Have you ever played like you guys have played Zoo Tycoon? Every single one of
I
you
play
has.
Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Okay, you play Roller Coaster Tycoon.
It's a lot like
I get the idea.
Yeah.
Remember that game?
Yeah, but yeah, it's just think of like those games, but it's a hospital,
Okay.
and you make your rooms, you make your. There really isn't much to say about it. It's just a fucking
You run a
sim.
hospital. Yeah, it's
You
Sim
run a
Hospital.
hospital.
You decorate it, you hire doctors, you hire nurses, you set up a reception. People go through the process of getting checked in, and they go to a waiting area. You got to make sure you have enough chairs. And if it's ugly or not, or if there's too many people going through it, people get pissed off. Like just
Yeah.
it's a
management game.
management sim, but it's with a cartoony aspect.
Yeah,
to it.
and it's
like not
funny.
crazy hardcore.
So one of
I'm
the
trying to think of
things.
that one other one that's really like a hardcore hospital sim.
No, that I don't know. But one of the illnesses that can come into your hospital is lightheadedness. And
That's the
all
worst.
it is that they just have a light bulb as a head. And to treat it, they go into a room. A doctor uses a machine to unscrew the light bulb and screw a head onto him.
Oh my.
Well, that's very lifelike, isn't it?
Okay.
Or there's one where they become a clown, and they have to become declowned.
Okay.
Jesus, there's so
This is
many.
2
good
Point
ones.
Hospital you're talking about?
Yeah, 2 Point Hospital. There's one where people dress up as they're basically Freddie Mercury, and they have to go see a psychiatrist to
Oh my
snap them out of it.
gosh.
It's-
Project Hospital is the one that's like super in depth,
Oh, okay.
more realistic. I was thinking of.
I don't know if I would like that because I like the charm of this one.
Yeah, that's why I never really bought it, like because it just seems like way too over my head management.
See, I love over my head management. I play out of the park baseball, which holy shit, if you guys don't know what out of the park baseball is, which you probably don't,
Nope.
it is the most in-depth baseball simulation ever.
Oh, really?
There are stats galore, my guy. There are it's stats on stats on stats and a lot of variables, and my god, you need some sort of degree to really do good at this game. You need like a sports management degree. I should ask my one buddy who has a sports management degree and be like, "Hey, play this, see how well you do."
Nice.
But I like those games, but I like the charm of this one. Even like the menu music or like the in-game like the background music, it's treated like a radio show. Where it's just you have the person come on, the DJ come on and spout some funny lines, and then it's just here's more of your background music. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And then it just keeps playing those music.
Nice.
Little music. It's if you ever want to get lost for like 4 hours like I did, if you ever want to burn like 4 hours and wonder where your day went, download it and play it. It's on Game Pass, like I said. Fantastic game.
Okay, I'll take a look at it.
That. Oh, I downloaded Pong Quest. on the Switch. The Pong
Pong
RPG.
Quest? Pong RPG?
Yeah, we talked about it a few weeks ago on the podcast.
Mhm.
I downloaded it. I haven't played it yet. I'll report in next week.
All right.
Hey, Mark, how was your week?
Nothing too crazy. Played some Sea of Thieves with Walker a few times.
Fucking, you
Got
guys
some
didn't
bank.
tell me?
We played it last night after you got
Oh,
off,
okay.
I think.
That's why.
Yeah, like he got on super late and then everybody dipped and it was just like him and I. And then it was like, yep, we can play some Sea of Thieves. I think somebody else was there. I honestly can't remember.
Was AIM still in the chat?
It's either AIM or Jeff or... No, I don't think I talked.
Wasn't me. I haven't been on for the last couple days, yeah.
I bounced as soon as our viewing situation was over.
Viewing situation?
Yeah, I think it was AIM.
That game is pretty cool. Were you playing it because of a new thing?
Yeah, so Sea of Thieves put out a new update. I think it was last week. And whenever they put out updates, they always get like a shit ton of people coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And the game has changed a little bit since I've last played it. Like I played it during whatever the Fireball update. I played it a little bit then.
I remember
And then
that.
They added in just like a bunch of little quality of life things. So like you deliver all the Reaper's chests and stuff that gives you doubloons to the Reaper's hideout instead of every bar. So Walker and I ran into that issue. Like at the end of the night, it was like 4 a.m.
What the hell am I supposed to do with this?
Yeah, we had like 4 presents, and we're just like, all right, like, what do we do with this? And it's like, oh, we have to go across the whole map to deliver these. It's not worth it. So we just kind of dipped off after that. Like after getting attacked by ghost ships and a megalodon like a few times, like we had a hell of a night last night.
Nice.
But we didn't sink, which was pretty cool.
That's
Oh,
dope.
yeah.
Did you
So
take
we
out
found-
the ghost ship?
Yeah, we took out the ghost ship. The megalodon
Nice.
just sort of disappeared though.
Yeah.
They
They
do
just
that.
chase you for a minute, right?
Well, if you stop and you try and like attack them, they'll typically keep up to you.
Hmm.
And isn't
but-
there like a temperance to each one that'll actually like decide if it wants to keep following you or not?
No idea.
Okay.
That
I
might be it.
I thought there was ones that were aggressive more than the other. That was like the big thing that I got interested in was the sharks.
Yeah, we killed a purple one. I don't know if it was yesterday or 2 days ago or something, but got one of those. We didn't kill the one yesterday, but we got some ghost ships. And, I don't know, made 30 or 40k. It was a pretty slow night yesterday.
Pretty slow. Make it 30k. Oh no,
Yeah, I
NBD.
No big deal.
Well, the previous night I think we made like 50 or 60, and it was pretty cool.
So what
Dropping
other kind of
30
things, what other quality of life things do you think they've, like, what did they add?
They added like shotgun cannonballs that like blow people
Oh,
off
yeah.
That's
off your
cool.
ship if you shoot it at them. Doesn't really do too much damage though.
Hmm.
Fire is a lot different than whenever they first introduced it.
Okay.
It's, how do I put it? It's a lot less bitchy, but at the same time, it's equally as annoying. Like, it doesn't spread nearly as much as it did before. And it takes a little bit longer, I'd say, to, like, actually damage your ship. But it doesn't go out as easily.
Okay.
Yeah, and
A
they
lot
added
more
that water
problems putting
bucket.
out The fire. Yeah.
They
That's
added a
been
water
in for
bucket
a
in your
few
ship.
months, though.
So
there's
you
a
could deal with
dedicated
that?
bucket for the ships, but instead of just going to your bar and switching over to a bucket.
If you
It's like-
don't have any water in it, you can't. There's no way to get water from inside of
Okay.
your ship without any holes.
Oh, okay.
So
So there you are
They-
shooting holes through your ship just to get water to put out the fucking fire.
yeah, so they changed the fire a bit since that last update, at least as far as I can tell. And the game also looks a little bit cleaner.
Cleaner?
Yeah, that's the first thing that I noticed.
Cleaner? That game always has looked pretty good.
Yeah, I'd say they did this 2 or so updates ago. It wasn't the most previous one, but a little bit ago, like they changed like how the water looks and like the general light effects. I'd say, like it's a lot more cinematic in my opinion now. Like before, it used to be really dark and I don't know. The water didn't look as good to me, and now it just really pops.
Okay.
The only problem that I do have with it is that if you run it on a super high resolution, you can see grid lines in the water, so
Mhm.
you can see where the water's rendered and that sort of shit, and that kind of bothers me.
Is that what happens like if you pop it up to like mythical and have it on the highest settings?
I'd assume so. I didn't see it otherwise, but you start seeing grid lines like throughout the water, and you're like, oh, it's just into little blocks. It's weird.
Well, my elite.
Kind of. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, well, my elite fever's starting to subside. I get these
Starting to
fevers,
dwindle.
man. I get these fevers.
GTA.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I need a GTA fever, and I need an Arc fever, a GTA fever, and
You've had enough of Ark. We need to go back to GTA.
Well, I like the idea of doing both, and the Fallout. Those 3
Yeah,
games.
that too.
Yeah, I spent $40.
I know you did. You were just talking about that the other day.
60 on it forever ago.
Yeah.
Already
I
went
spent
through
like-
the shit.
Well, at least you guys
$10.
gotten some time out of it. Nate James hasn't even played it yet. I mean, he played it one day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've been having
What
some
else?
days, Nate, where you're just like, fuck it, I'm gonna play Fallout 76 just to get my money's worth out of it.
No, yeah, like I'll play it for literally like 5 or 10 minutes, and then no one else decides they actually want to hop on. I'm like, well, fuck this. I played Nuclear
Yeah,
It was
it's-
a
Winter,
solid
but
month whenever it came out. I was like, I gotta get my money's worth, even though this is a shit game. I gotta play it.
We had a lot of fun at first, I think. I had a lot of fun
Yeah.
playing it, to be honest with you.
I was enjoying it the first day we did it, like when we were actually like all together and like fucking around and shit. Like that was fun, and then nothing else happened.
Friends can make even the shittiest game fun.
Truth.
Yeah, like, I genuinely was enjoying myself, besides getting yelled at. But
Yeah, so maybe we'll get to Fallout. I didn't get to that this week. What else did I do this week? Played Skate. Got all.
Nice.
I got good old Skate 3 working on my
Nice.
computer using a PlayStation emulator.
Nice.
Nice.
Finally.
Skate 3's.
Was that the rollerblade one or the is it
No, that was-
skateboard one?
No, you're thinking of Aggressive Inline
Uh huh.
as the rollerblade one.
Believe it or not, I did that for years.
That game's funny.
rollerblade.
Oh yeah,
Yes, I actually still have a $300 pair of rollerblades upstairs
nice.
that's specifically made for that, like for handrails, and they US.
You were a fruit booter.
Yeah, I was a fruit booter. My first pair that I had for years, well, I had it for like a year and a half, and then I ended up breaking them. Was a pair of USD Fredericks. Those were
Okay.
dope ass skates, man.
Does everyone remember like the comments, like the fruit booter, metal mover, and wood pusher? Is that
hmm
all familiar? To
I was
everyone?
I was a hardcore fruit
Yep.
booter actually.
Okay. I was always a metal mover. I like to BMX. I like to bike.
Yeah, no one
Cousins
talked
are
about the
fucking
people
wood
that
pushers.
Scootered.
Okay, so there,
Duelers for life.
They don't exist.
so you had the skateboarders hated rollerbladers or inline skaters and bike guys. Like they all hated each other, but they came to the consensus of just hating on scooters the
Yep.
most.
Yup. You know,
Yeah,
you
that's pretty accurate.
He is the worst.
Fuck all you guys, but fuck that guy the most.
Yeah. Fucking scooter.
Fucking
Yeah.
scoots.
So I played Skate. That was pretty neat. It initially started because I bought Session. I saw that it was on sale on Steam for
Oh, how
$10.
is? Have you played that?
I played it a little bit. I played it for about an hour or two. Tried to give it as much as I could before I kind of realized all that was offered.
Is it still in early access?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's still in very early access, at least as far as I can tell. Like there's no story or main premise behind it other than skateboarding and using the controls and landing tricks. That's literally it. There's 3 maps as far as I could tell. There is a really solid modding community which makes the game apparently a lot better. So I do have to explore into that a bit more. But base game wise, it seems, yeah, still early access.
Well, we have some news later on about another skateboarding game that a lot of people have been looking at because EA, the fucking cowards, aren't giving us Skate 4 anytime soon.
I read about that and I considered buying it as well, but it looked even more early access than Session. So that was my only issue about it. And your news is going to concern me a little bit, but we'll get there. Yeah, so played Session a little bit. We played Risk. That was a time. Played Siege, which that's pretty normal.
Not gonna lie, I hate that game.
You hate that game?
I hate that game.
Why?
Because I just generally don't like that type of game. Like, that's not my style. Yeah. Just shooters in general. I'm not a big fan of. I think Overwatch is like the only exception to that.
It's definitely not for everyone. It's not your typical shooter.
Yeah, it is
And
neat.
either, like,
I
love
will
it or hate
admit,
it.
I do like the fact that it kind of has that Overwatch. Each individual character has their own style and their own things. That's cool. That's refreshing. However, it's just in general first-person shooters. It's just not really my style. I have a hard time getting into them, honestly.
Feel that.
So I can't say I
Pretty
hate
much
it,
the
but
same way. Like, I'm not a huge fan of first-person shooters. Like, they're not my favorite genre of game. But
especially games where you die, you end up having to sit there for like fucking 10 minutes and waiting for the next round to start because you're trash and you were the first one dead. Because you were sniped by Nate James outside a window of an airplane.
that's true. Our custom games are a little different. Yeah, whenever we just have to sit there, even though you know exactly where the guy is, and you're dead though. But you can't
Oh yeah, you can't say nothing.
So you're just like, all right, this is a little much. Like,
This
I
is
can
bonk.
understand that. I think the cameras really give it a fresh part of it. You're doing something after it.
Yeah, especially when you're waiting for, even like before, when you're waiting for everyone for the attackers to come in, you can hop on those cameras, so you're still kind of doing something.
I have an idea for if whenever we do custom games again that I feel like if you decide you want to play again, Jeff, this could be a fun idea for you. Is just like instead of the no talking rule, like we should just do like text chat. Like you should like message the team, and, like talk
Or
to
hop
them
into
through
separate
it.
discords.
Yeah. Like it's just like the fact
Actually
that
do it.
everyone knows. Yeah.
Well, I'll definitely
How do you
play
like
again
to-
because that's what everybody plays. But
When you play, like you seem like you have a decent time for like, at least for some of it.
yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't have a bad time. It's just, you know, it's like when you're playing that game that everybody wants to play in the group, but you're just like, it's not really my thing. So you
I
know,
got you.
it's a good time because I'm with a group, but I wouldn't play that by
Yeah.
myself. That's for damn sure.
Mhm. That's fair.
Like even Overwatch, I would jump into that every once in a while. Hell, I have an episode on YouTube where it's why are you playing Overwatch at 6 a.m. and I am fucking wasted.
Yeah, I was like, class heard that
Yeah. I started drinking at like 3 a.m. and it was just like, I'll just drink a couple of them. Yeah, 6.5 pack later, I'm fucking screaming at my monitor, mad as shit because my microphone stopped working randomly. Like, what the fuck is happening?
Right.
And of course, I have my fucking Grand Theft Auto character voice in, and it's just,
Oh my.
Yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much my week as far as games go. Just working a lot,
Alright.
staying busy. It sucks.
Fair enough.
Nice.
You know.
All right. Well, before we get on to the news, we have a thing on our Patreon where we give a shout out to our lovely patrons. I want to give a shout out to Jeffrey, Jeff, and Morgan for
Hey,
donating to the Patreon. And if you would
thank
like
you
to join the
guys.
Patreon, Mark, where can you go to join the Patreon?
isn't it Level Unlock Podcast.patreon.com?
Patreon.com/Level
That's the email.
Unlock Podcast.
yeah.
Wow, I'm backwards. Patreon.com/Level Unlock Podcast. In case you misheard me, I was totally right the first time. I swear.
Morgan was actually here a little bit ago.
All right.
But yeah, I've been trying to keep that pretty updated, so make sure you check it out.
You guys are so
We
much
got some
superior.
we got some
at
cool
doing
stuff on there, so make sure to check it out.
Thanks
Well-
very much, guys. We appreciate you, playing your part and keeping this thing rolling.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of Patreons, I guess we can talk about the first thing in the news from our lovely patron Jeffrey.
Let's
Hey.
do it.
The Detroit Lions are an NFL football team, American football team. Hey, remember, we are an international podcast, so there's some people that might not know this.
Yeah, that's true.
who the Detroit Lions are. I mean, hell, there's probably like football fans here in the U.S. that don't know who the Detroit Lions are because they're so trash.
There's people on this podcast that don't know who the Detroit Lions are.
Exactly.
I'm assuming they're from Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and they're Lions.
Okay.
It's just a bunch of lions that take the field and just maul the
Yeah.
opponent.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
Like they don't
If
even
only
play
they could
football.
actually do that.
Like a bunch of football team mascots.
No, like
Yeah,
actual
that would be
animals.
fantastic.
Oh.
Can we just okay? All right. This is how the NFL becomes profitable again and becomes the biggest thing in the world.
Again.
This is how it happens. You don't have players on the team. You have the animal or thing like mascot for the team just take the field. And whichever like mascot doesn't die, that team wins.
Kind of like
There's
Mutant
like
League football.
So there's like, yeah, pretty much Mutant League football. So you would have like the Detroit Lions is just a bunch of lions versus like the New England Patriots, who are just a bunch of dudes dressed up as Patriots.
I mean, it's not.
I think you're onto
exactly
something
that,
here.
But in NHL 19, there's a mascot mode.
There is, yeah.
Yeah, and you just play as a bunch of mascots. So if they did that for football, that'd be fan-fucking-tastic.
Yeah,
That'd be
but it would be
Like
different.
actual lions.
Yeah, but like it's not like okay, it's not like in hockey where it would be like the Chicago Blackhawks and it's the Blackhawks mascot. No, it's like fucking if say the Montreal Canadiens were just a bunch of Canadians that just took the ice against the Anaheim Ducks and it's just a few ducks, just mallard ducks that take the ice.
Yeah,
and
but
they
what-
just go after each other.
And
And whoever dies, whoever doesn't die wins.
Yeah, what about teams like, the Browns?
It's Bulldogs.
Well, yeah, Bulldogs.
I didn't know that. See, I don't know.
He doesn't know sports ball.
I don't. Sports ball is that's what it's
Dallas
called, right?
Cowboys, a bunch of rootin' tootin' motherfuckers.
Uh-huh.
But Jeff, I'm sure you would be into sports if that is how the sports were played.
I don't
I'm
really wanna
sure
see
you would
ducks
be into
get
that.
attacked.
Could be. Probably.
Isn't that just hunting at that point? But
Yeah,
easier?
Oh, just on the. Well, I don't know, man. Like ducks, they're flying around like crazy. They're probably trying to peck your eyes out or something.
They're probably
Yeah.
gone by that point.
There's a movie
Or,
about
like, the
that,
Baltimore
actually.
Ravens in football, imagine the Ravens versus the Falcons. Let's do it.
Oh my.
Battle of the skies. All
It
right,
seems
the Saints is just a bunch of or just a bunch of priests,
yeah.
just a bunch of friar tucks running around. All right, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, NFL football, Detroit Lions. Hey, they announced their season through Animal Crossing.
Seen that. That was funny. That did
You
make me
probably-
laugh.
It is, yeah. You've probably seen it on social media. It's been posted around everywhere. But no, that's a really cute thing to do. And even what is it? There's this one nominee for one of I think one of the senates or maybe a representative or something was going around to other people's towns and just being like, hey,
Vote for me.
what's up? Here's some turnips. And Mark Zuckerberg was going to other people's towns too and just giving them bells.
Nice.
Of course.
So a lot of people are jumping on.
out.
A lot of people are jumping on that Animal Crossing train. I dig it.
Still
I
haven't
can
really
dig it.
messed with it.
You're
I
missing
just
out,
don't know
man.
if it's the kind of game I would like.
You're missing
I
out, man.
see the appeal and I respect it, but I don't think it's something I could get into. It's too slow.
I have a feeling
Yeah.
that I would get into it. I'm gonna stay away from it. I'm easily susceptible to addictive games.
Well, here's
Well,
the
it's good
thing.
because you can't get a Switch right now.
There you go.
Yeah, no, you can't.
The universe
Plus,
is
you
solving
have to
my
pay
problems for
$500.
me.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, we don't have where you can buy a Nintendo Switch update this week. Shit,
Uh,
Walker isn't here.
yeah, update. Still nowhere.
Okay, good. Thank God.
Why is that?
Thank God it hasn't.
They
Uh,
stopped production.
Yeah, it's
Completely
sorted,
just
sorted.
stop making them?
So apparently the general idea right now is after they stopped production, what they're gonna do is they're gonna mass hoard all the ones that are available and then just push them all out, so it's not this trickle anymore, so that
Yeah.
everyone has an actual amount because they're apparently Nintendo's not particularly happy about the price gouging.
Yeah, no, they're not.
They're pretty upset at the fact that people are
Charging.
Basically buying one Switch for the price of two.
And yet they're the ones that are fucking selling Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, a game that came out on the fucking Wii U for $60 goddamn dollars, or Mario Kart 8, a game that's been out for, I don't know, like 4 years, 5 years already, that came out on the Wii U. They're selling it for $60 fucking dollars still on the Nintendo Switch. Fuck that. Goddamn Nintendo. Lower your prices of your damn games. But no, Jeff, I mean, so Animal Crossing, there's only so much you could really do in a day. So like you would play it for a day, and it's not that day, go do something else, and then the next day, just like a routine, then you would go back and play.
Unless you decide to tinker with the game a little bit and do the time stuff.
Bro, I'm the type of dude that would actually spend like a whole day playing Fallout Shelter. Like, there's only so much you can do in that, but I made it work. Like, we'll see.
Fair enough.
Well, no, I mean, there's like if you keep talking to your villagers throughout the day, they just started pissed.
Oh, really?
They actually get mad at you, and they might leave.
You can literally poke the bear.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the news, as Keemstar would say.
The news.
Let's get right into the news.
So what's new? What's happening? What's going on out there?
What's new in the news, you ask? I guess you could say.
What's new?
I get my news from this podcast.
Okay. Well, that's good. Fuck. Last of Us 2 had a story trailer.
I heard about this. Wasn't it originally a leak?
Yeah, it was, well, the whole game got leaked, apparently. The whole story of the game got leaked.
Okay.
Sony has come out and said that it is not someone affiliated with Sony, with PlayStation, or Naughty Dog. It's some outside source.
How did they get their hands on it then?
They hacked the mainframe.
Oh.
Sure. That sounds like a good enough thing.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it pretty much most of the same. Still stealth. Ellie's still doing her thing. She's basically on her own through most of the adventure, at least. There's a lot more people in this one. A lot less focus on the infected, and it seems more on like regular humans that you're going to be fighting. At least what this trailer showed, and dogs, because they made a huge point. Naughty Dog made a huge point that you have to kill the dogs. Kill the dogs.
So it's going the direction of The Walking Dead?
Kinda. Yeah, they made a huge thing. Like, someone posted on Twitter. They got like a thing. I think it was from GameStop that kind of went over like the features of the game, and one of the features of the game was you kill the dogs. And I'm like, sweet. There's no bad puppers, only less good puppers, and you should never take the life of a good pupper. Yeah. Another game that had a also they've really been like sniffing their own farts like crazy. Naughty Dog has been, or like at least the head of Naughty Dog, because he goes, man, I cried when I played Last of Us 2. You guys are gonna love this, and you know it's not the same as reading. It's a completely different experience, feeling the game and playing it. And I mean, yeah, dude, I get it. You want to like drum a pipe for the game, but like, do you really have to sniff your own farts that much? You don't. You could just be like, "Hey, Last of Us Part 2, it's gonna be good." Hey,
Right.
great. We all knew that.
No, James, this game is going to bring you to tears. Well, I don't like to feel that way, so I'm not even going to get it.
That first one brought me to tears. I will say that ending, brought me to.
I don't think I ever played that one.
It brought me from a man to like a 3-year-old child who just scraped his knee.
Just watched
tears.
Just watched Bambi's mom die.
I just watched Bambi's mom get fucked. Just offed.
Like
just
Thanos.
That boom headshot. I saw the tick, the hit marker, show up on Bambi's mom.
And then Thanos like, yeets her off the side of a cliff.
Yeah, like that's how much I was tearing up. There was another game that had a story trailer the hour after the Last of Us 2 story trailer came out. Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath is the new DLC for the hyper-popular Mortal Kombat 11. Go figure. Shang Tsung has to go back into the past. That's the story.
The past with RoboCop.
Yeah. Fujin's a new character. He uses like wind attacks and has daggers. Shiva's going to be in it with her forearms and a lot of heavy attacks. Very brutal fatalities, which is really cool. That's pretty much the selling point of the game anymore.
Did you hear about the developers that had to go to like, they claimed like work comp and had to go to therapy for post-traumatic syndrome because they produced the fatalities?
Yeah, I think we actually talked about it on the podcast.
Do you think that's a thing?
Oh, probably. From what I heard, all the shit that they had to view, like the beheadings and the disembowelment of animals that they had to watch so they can get this perfect.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Like the actual RL shit that they had to. Like when I was watching that Alien stuff, they used the placenta of I think a giraffe to get the color of the alien, which is fucking gross.
That is fucking nasty.
They studied the placenta of an animal to make sure they get the right color scheme.
Hey, that's dedication. That's real dedication. I mean, where do you even find a giraffe placenta? I mean, really, you can't just go to Costco and pick that up. RoboCop, as Jeff said, is going to be in this one. That's the new guest character.
I don't think it's relatable to a lot of people.
The Terminator's in this one, too.
The Terminator makes a little more sense because we've had Terminator movies in the last decade. But when was the last time a freaking RoboCop anything hit the floor?
2012?
There was
Didn't they have a reboot that was trash?
It must have been. I mean, I don't.
Let me
look it up too.
Oh, that's right. So I look on my phone to look up when the last RoboCop movie came out, and I just see this old fat man with grating mutton chops on my phone, and I forgot that I looked up H.R. Geiger, and that was the first picture that showed up.
Yeah, in 2014.
14, okay. Yeah, I hear it's absolute trash.
Yeah, it never hit my radar.
Yay, RoboCop!
God, that's such a weird pick. That's a weird one. Who do you think would have been a better substitute?
Predator?
Banjo and Kazooie.
Banjo and Kazooie. No, man, Gino. Waluigi. He's not Smash Ultimate, so let's just put him in. He's getting into a fighting game somehow. MK11, let's go.
Yeah, that would be dope.
Yeah, that's coming out May 26th, so at the end of the month. And new things like stage fatalities, friendships, and new stages are coming in a free update.
Finish him! They just do a high five and a fist bump.
Yeah, have you ever seen friendships?
No, that's a thing.
Yeah, they're like fatalities, but they become friends. Like, okay, so in the end of this trailer, it had Scorpion throw out his spear and go, "Get over here!" And he pulls a giant teddy bear and gives it a big old hug.
Oh my god.
And it says friendship. Yeah, they were introduced, I think, in Mortal Kombat 3, friendships. They're really, it's
That's
fun.
a nice alternative to it, I suppose.
Now we're just waiting for the babalities.
Babalities?
Yeah, that's where they turn into babies.
Oh, not what I was hoping for.
No, they get turned into babies.
Oh.
Not the other kind of babes.
Oh.
Let's take a look here.
Nick says I'll get it for $1. As long as it's $1, I'll buy it, he says.
Some other things, the next things on my list here, I kind of want Mark here, because I'm sure he would have some input, especially on the next thing. But let's take a look at the Xbox Game Pass games for PC real quick.
Yeah, they added some more stuff?
They did. They're going to, at least.
That's dope.
So, Endless Legend is a 4X strategy game that you lead one of 8 unique civilizations. So kind of like Civilization. Final Fantasy IX, if you want to play one of the best Final Fantasy games ever, it's coming to Game Pass for PC. And Halo Master Chief Collection Halo 2 is coming out in 2 days.
Dope.
See if it sucks.
Hey, it's Halo 2. It can't. Oh, well, I didn't care.
It'll be Halo 2. It'll be great, but we'll see
if it's optimized or
it
anything.
meets our expectations. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And then coming soon for the console versions, we have Final Fantasy IX, DayZ, which is that open world zombie survival game.
Yeah, it's like an Arma 2 mod.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, like
It is. Yeah.
That game
It's
is
been out for so long. That's why I like made like a confused face whenever I heard DayZ. I'm like,
what?
game's been out
I
for,
know.
like, 4 years. And
That game has been out
even longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that game has been out for a very long time, and it's the running meme is that it's a running simulator. Actually,
Pretty much.
that was another game that used to piss me off. You'd spend like an hour and a half trying to survive in this world, and then you'd fall off a 3-foot fucking
Dead.
ledge and die. Like, I remember I was playing with Nate one night, and we were farming for the resources we need in it, and I run up the stairs of this old shack in the woods, and I fall off. I wasn't even on the second floor. It's one of those things where it like goes up, then it's flat, and then it turns and goes up. And I was on like that part, so in reality it was like maybe a 6-foot drop. Dead. All that time, dead. That was
But
when I put the
realism,
controller
though.
down and I was finished.
I'm done with this game forever.
Yeah, pretty much.
Boy, howdy, this sure
Well-
was fun while it lasted.
Well, I didn't like it in the first place, and you guys already know why. But
Mhm.
I was like, no, this is a waste of time.
So along with DayZ, we got Final Fantasy IX coming to Game Pass for consoles. Fractured Minds, which is an immersive artistic short game exploring anxiety and mental health issues. Embark on a journey through the human psyche to experience the everyday challenges associated with these conditions. This is according to news.xbox.com. And Red Dead Redemption 2 is coming to Game Pass for consoles.
Not for PC.
Fuck.
Not for PC.
Oh.
No, this is just consoles. PC isn't
Still-
getting that one.
Still fuck. It's annoying.
Well,
Still paid
isn't-
$60 for it on Xbox. Whenever it came out.
Oh, yeah.
What is the artistic style of this Fractured Mind?
I don't know.
I got an ad.
PlayStation Now is also getting games. We got Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Siege, The Evil Within 2, and Get Even. The Evil Within 2 has probably my favorite part of any video game in history, where near the end of the game, you can run all the way back to the beginning of the game, and you see, you talk to this one character, and you go, "We have to get out of here. Everything's fucked. Come with me." And the dude goes, "Nah, man. I'm not leaving
game
this
looks
place. There's evil out there." And then the main character goes, "Yeah, but there's evil within too." And both characters just pause for like a solid 5 seconds and look at the camera. And then go back to talking. It is the greatest scene in any video game ever.
Oh god.
Gold.
So yeah. Let's back up to the list because Mark's here. Skate XL is coming out on July 7th. The kind of highly anticipated skateboarding game. It's coming out for Switch, Xbox, and PS4 and PC on July 7th. So Mark, you said that
What's it called?
it looks Skate XL. So you said it kind of
Yeah.
looks like an early access. When was the last time you looked at it?
A little bit earlier.
Oh, okay.
I bought Sessions, I think, 4 days ago.
Oh, okay. And it
Hmm.
still looks like early access?
Yeah, I mean, it's still an early access game, placed on Steam.
I haven't played a good
Yeah.
skate game in a long time.
I don't know if like there's a full customization or like full story to it, but at least as far as the Steam page makes it seem is that they just recently added like board customization and brands
Oh,
and
Jesus.
are working on adding professional characters and a new map into the game. So like still seems early access.
And they have a little bit less than 2 months to implement those to make it a full release.
Yeah. So
Oof.
that's my only thing is that both of the games don't seem like full games to be full release. And
Oof.
I guess the biggest thing is that Sessions was $10, and it seemed like a more polished game with a bigger modding community, where XL didn't really seem to have one.
Hmm.
Oof.
The modding community can really make or break a game.
They can, like nowadays. We had a few companies reports, their financial reports. Usually we don't really talk about it too much, but this has some pretty interesting stuff. EA had the most recent financial report. According to the report, FIFA 21 and Madden 21 will still be released in 2020, along with Burnout Paradise Remastered and Command & Conquer Remastered.
Oh.
NHL 21 could be released as early as December of this year or as late as April 2021. This is from Games Radar. But apparently, we expect to announce additional titles in FY21 over the coming months. This is a quote from EA, including an unannounced EA Sports title, an additional EA HD title, 4 EA partner titles, and 2 mobile soft launches. So there's still a lot of things going on here that EA is working on. And that actually kind of swings us over into the Mass Effect Trilogy HD. I guess it's not HD because it was already in HD. So apparently they are remaking EA. One of their unannounced EA game or EA HD title is apparently going to be a remaster of the first 3 Mass Effect games.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
I don't want-
so
Yeah, I wonder if they're gonna make the ending of the third one not shit.
probably not.
Was it the third one or the
It
second
was the third one. It was the third
yeah,
one.
Yeah, the third one.
The second
I knew
one is
someone would
widely
do that.
regarded as the best one.
I like the second one a lot. Yeah, the third one came around and it was like, oh, this is what it is. And then you got to the end, that happened, and then you look up all the multiple endings and you're like, fucking serious? Yeah, so don't want to spoil it, but you should look it up if you haven't.
Not great.
More interested, yeah.
Really not great. And then, like, even the older, because they had the original endings and then the new ending, and it was just everything was just trash.
Walker said WWE is going to EA. They're in works for a partnership, and that's one of EA's new games.
Nice.
Oh, it
It'll
could
actually
be
be a
possible,
good game.
yeah. I don't know about that one, Chief.
Well, I mean, EA does FIFA and all that. I mean, FIFA's solid.
Pretty solid, yeah. Speaking of earnings reports, Activision also had an earnings report this week.
Jeez.
So apparently a new premium Call of Duty game is coming out this year, and so are 2 games based on Activision IPs. It's widely rumored that the next game will be a reboot of the Black Ops series, at least of the premium Call of Duty game. But we don't know what the 2 other IPs are. The 2 other games, 2 new games based off Activision IPs. They have a lot. And according to Games Radar, apparently there's a lot of rumors about a Tony Hawk's Pro Skater sequel. So maybe we'll get a new Tony Hawk's Pro Skater game that isn't utterly trash. That could barely be
Didn't they make
considered.
one, like 2 years ago or last year or something?
Yeah. Yeah, but I could barely consider that a video game.
Yup. Sadly.
Y'all remember when we talked about Amazon Game Studios? When we talked about them a little bit? They were going to make a game called Crucible.
Yeah.
They were talking about their game. Yeah.
It's dead, isn't it?
No, we have actually a lot more information on it. A lot more. These are only just a snippet of things. This is a very, very in-depth and long article from GameSpot. It is in the notes, in my notes. If you want to read over through the entire thing, it's a really nice read, a great read, if you want to get an idea of what this game is. But it's a third-person hero shooter.
Are those notes available on our Patreon?
It's available on our Patreon and our Discord.
And the Discord? Okay.
Yep. It's apparently, according to Paul Hornsaw, the guy who wrote this article, who got a chance from GameSpot that got a chance to play it, it's apparently a mix of Overwatch and Evolve. If you guys remember Evolve, the 2K asymmetric multiplayer shooter.
The game that could have been fantastic.
Yeah, and then they had 2 season passes. And a lot of people got pissed because that wasn't a thing back then.
Nope.
Each character is going to have their own abilities, like typical hero shooters.
I remember when this came out.
Characters will have multiple advantages to them. And pretty much, if you want to play this character, if you like this character because you like how they play or you like the look of them, no matter what, you're still going to be a vital part of the team. They're apparently balancing it out where characters are essentially going to be 2 or 3 classes, if you will, with different abilities. So no matter what, any character can be a very important role to the team.
Okay.
Walker said that they're releasing their Battle Royale to rival Valorant.
Battle Royale to Valorant?
Yeah, supposedly Crucible will have a Battle Royale.
I don't know if I read that.
Valorant doesn't have a Battle Royale, though.
Yeah, Valorant doesn't have a Battle Royale.
I don't know. I'm just reading.
You're just reading what Walker
No, I
said.
gotcha.
Yeah, they're releasing their Battle Royale to the rival Valorant. Guess.
Sure.
Okay, Walker.
So that'll be pretty neat.
It's going to be a free-to-play game. You gain essence to level up your team. So it also has a little bit of a MOBA vibe to it as well. So you can basically go to like the jungle if you're playing like League of Legends and taking out the like the NPCs there and get money that you could spend on different items, and then you could also get money for killing other players. It's the same way here in Crucible. Oh, I think I know what Walker was talking about. Originally, I think when we first talked about Crucible, it was going to be a Battle Royale.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah, so this seems like it's going to be a third-person hero shooter MOBA kind of thing.
That's
which is
interesting.
weird. Yeah, it's very interesting. And we don't have to wait long at all to play this. It's going to be available on the 20th.
Oh, I'll play it.
Yeah,
give it a
I'm going to
shot.
play it too. It's free. Hey, it's free to play. What the hell not?
Yeah. Even if it's for one download, we'll see.
Yeah, exactly. What's the worst that can happen?
And bricks my computer.
Yeah, that's true. The Nintendo Switch, the thing that nobody can purchase because it's sold out everywhere, has sold pretty damn well so far. The Nintendo Switch has sold 55.77 million units
In total?
worldwide. 55 million units worldwide. That's including the Switch Lite. It is knocking on the doorstep of the NES, and it's a little bit more than halfway there to the Nintendo Wii in a much shorter period of time.
What?
Yeah, so 21.3 million sales, a million of those sales come from April 1st, 2019 to March 31st, 2020. So in that year, it jumped 24% in sales. Switch Lite only covers about
crazy.
6.19 million of those total sales. So yeah, it's
That's pretty
definitely
wild.
going to be. It's definitely going to beat the NES. Now it's just the question of will it beat the Wii? Nobody knows. To compare it to other systems that Nintendo has released throughout the years, the Wii has sold 101.63 million units. The Nintendo Entertainment System sold 61.91 million units. The Super Nintendo sold 49.10 million units. The Nintendo 64 sold 32.93 million units. The GameCube sold 21.74 million units. And the Wii U sold 13.56 million units.
Well, Nintendo knows how to make and sell a thing, don't they?
Except for the Wii U.
Except for the Wii U.
Except for the Wii U.
So what is still currently the
and
most
Virtual
sold
Boy.
console in the world right now? Is it
PlayStation
still
2.
the PlayStation?
Yeah, PS2 is still the top. At like 120 million, I think. 120, 130, I think, right around there.
That's a lot.
It's all because
That's
it's all because they were making it until 2014.
Yeah.
So those Brazilians, man, they love their
Wait,
PlayStation 2s.
you could still buy a new PlayStation 2 in 2014.
Yeah, but in Brazil.
That's fucking crazy.
The last game, or no, it was 2012, I think. 2012 or 2011 was the last time they stopped making the PS2, which is still impressive because that thing came out in 2001.
Yeah.
Or 2000 in Japan. The last game to come out was Pro Evolution Soccer 2014
Jesus.
for the PS2. Yeah.
Good old Pro Evolution Soccer.
Yeah.
Bootleg FIFA. I love it.
Destiny 2 is a video game that's coming out for next gen consoles.
Okay.
Dave has taken another event. Our good pal that we talk about all the time on this podcast, Dave, took the Tokyo Game Show. The Tokyo Game Show is not going to be held in a venue this year. Instead, they are going to go all digital, much like how not E3, what E3 isn't doing.
For those new to the channel, Dave is our super adult term we use for the that little illness that's going around.
Thing that's
Is it? Do you think they're still? They're not still.
It's a meme now. It's a meme at this point.
Are they? They are still doing that.
Yeah.
Where they're like limiting reach for people that talk about that, or
It's
have
not
that
even- there's
word
that,
show up
but-
in their subtitles.
Yeah, so that's actually everyone's. So not to get off topic, and I'm only going to say this during this sentence, and then I'm done because I'm getting more and more frustrated by the day with this whole topic. But well, basically, especially now with the whole pandemic thing, because of the amount of fear mongering and the amount of concern and false information that is being presented, regardless of how you take the video, whatever camp you decide you sit on. It is basically, it was getting to the point where it didn't matter, where you could talk about it. YouTube now is like, yo, this is back. People aren't listening. It's back. Like, we're just full blown. Like, I want to say one of the people got completely demonetized his entire video. It was like a half an hour video because he said it like once or twice. But yeah, it's back in full effect, the whole demonetization thing. As far as I can tell, I don't know how long that'll last, but that little video that's going around isn't helping. Yeah. But yes, it is still in effect, and Dave is still the name.
So on a lighter note, I was listening to a podcast, and they mentioned the name of the thing that's going around, and my first thing was, "What the hell is that?" And then I go, "Oh shit, that's what we call Dave." It's just become ingrained in my head that it's everything going on is called Dave.
Dave.
All right, let's get on. Do you guys want to talk? Do you guys want to do the Xbox Series Xbox Box X Series X Box X
Feel
event
free.
last, or do you want to do it now?
Go ahead. In my opinion.
All right. So the Series Xbox Box X Xbox Box X Xbox Xbox had a gameplay event this week. That I wrote some pretty good notes. I don't like to toot my own horn all the time. I'm probably the most humble person I know, but
Weird
I don't-
flex, but okay.
I put some pretty damn good notes on. And before we get started with this podcast, about a half hour before the podcast we go live, hey, I'm looking at my notes. Where did my Xbox stuff go? So I had to rewrite this really quick. Every game is going to be game that they showed here is going to be optimized for the Series X. All games are coming either on launch day or within that launch window, so 2 months, 3 months after the system launches. The first game they show off is an absolute beautiful game called Bright Memory Infinite. It's from a company called Playism Studios. It's kind of like a mix of Titanfall and Crysis. So you got suit, this like biosuit that you can punch things like super far away, like out of the stratosphere. You can wall run. It seems super fast paced first person shooter, and you could do cool things like essentially a force pull enemies towards you and just off them. You can freeze enemies in place. There's some cool like sword battles and driving. It looks pretty neat. And the thing that blew me away, and a lot of people on social media as well, especially game developers, is that this was made by one dude. This was made just by one guy.
Fucking tells you something.
And
That's what
Cory
Mark has been
Balrog,
talking about.
Gotta
Cor-
believe.
Yeah, you just gotta believe.
One dude made this?
Yeah, it was just a pet project of his while he was working at another company, and that other company's like, sure, we don't fucking do it. I don't care.
Like you fleshed it out? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
mostly fleshed out. What do they?
And-
What do you think they used to make this?
I think it uses Crytek. I'm like 99% sure it uses the Crytek engine. I
Whoa!
I think Crytek actually, he works for Crytek, and he himself has split off into his own company owned by Crytek.
I've been watching. I'm watching some footage of it. This game actually looks dope.
Mhm.
Jesus.
Yeah,
I like-
so Bright Memory Infinite, that was the first thing. That was probably, in my opinion, the only game in this that made me really go, wow, this is next gen. Dirt 5. Oh, wait. World premiere. Dirt 5 is a buggy and car racing game with weather effects and day-night cycle. Scorn is a
Wow.
video game that leaves me with so many questions after watching this trailer. It's by a company called Ebb Software.
What game?
There's Scorn.
I was just
Yeah,
talking
we
about
talked
this.
about it
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
talking
we're
about this
talking about that.
earlier.
Yeah.
What- I can't find anything that like explains. I see a few walkthroughs of an alpha version. I've seen some trailers on it, but I haven't found anything about the lore or what the game is even about.
All I know is that there's that penis thing.
Yep, a lot of those things
There's
actually.
a weird penis thing in it.
Yeah. Well, it takes a lot of its artistic design from that Geiger dude we were talking about earlier.
H.R. Hufflepuff.
Yeah. It looks, if you're into that art, it looks, I don't want to use the term beautiful because it's trippy, but it's definitely, it's a sight for the eyes, I'll tell you.
Mm-hmm. It looks weird. And like I said, it reminds me of a Kojima thing where I leave with more questions than answers.
Yeah. I just want to know what the hell it's about. Like, what is this character? Why is he in this world? What is he?
I mean, like that game sounds like it's in the same vein as like any of the like Lovecraftian games, like the Sunken City or Call of Cthulhu or Canarium. Like, it seems. I don't know the premise. I don't know like what you do in it. If it's like a detective kind of thing, like
There's
trying to
a
figure out what's
lot
going
of-
on.
Have you seen any footage of it, James? Nate James?
I have not.
Yeah.
There's
just,
a lot of like
I'll look at one.
sexual tones in it in the trailer.
Yeah.
Like, of course, there's that penis thing. There's essentially like a weird like womb almost on. It's like the thing that Norman Reedus carries around his BB with in Death Stranding, just inside of a thing.
That's called
Oh.
Yonic, by the way. Yonic would be, think phallic, but for a woman. when it refers
okay.
to, and
Huh.
he does. The game literally says it's inspired by H.R. Geiger, and that was Geiger's big thing is Ionic art actually.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Yeah, I guess because the aliens do kind of look very like fetus like. The next game they showed up, world premiere. A game called Corvus or Corvus. They didn't really say. I think it's pronounced Corvus. Chorvs. I'm gonna call it Corvus. Brace.
That's what somebody was typing in the chat earlier. What is this?
So it's a Brace game made by Deep Silver and Fish Labs. It supports Xbox's smart delivery system. So where you can, if you buy it on the Xbox One, you get it on the Xbox One X or Series Xbox and any Xbox afterwards.
Thanks for the follow.
A lot of flying. Looks like a lot of space flying in it. It's coming out 2021, so probably February, March, somewhere around there, I would assume. World premiere. Madden 21. Patrick Mahomes was like, "Hey guys, I'm Patrick Mahomes. I play football. Here's Madden 21." And then it goes over like a history of Madden. And then it shows some gameplay of Madden 21. It's Madden. It's going to support smart delivery though, so that's cool, EA. Good on you. I don't have to buy the game twice. And then probably one of the things that made me super hyped, that made me pop off pretty hard, was Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. Are you guys familiar with Vampire the Masquerade?
It used to be
Vaguely.
think of D&D but with vampires.
Yeah, it used to be a tabletop RPG that got turned into a game that was poorly
Pretty
received,
trash.
but it's really good actually.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's not bad. They actually just did an update maybe about a year ago. They added like DLC to it. That did change a lot of the stuff on there.
I used to actually have a handful of the kind of like the if you played D&D, the books, the manuals.
Oh, nice.
I had a handful of the manuals for Vampire, and it's kind of neat. They're I don't know about the game, and I never actually played the tabletop version either, but you know, when I was younger, I was into all types of tabletop things, and there's a lot of different bloodlines, you could say. So there's like a lot of different classes, I guess, of vampire in these games.
Yeah. And they go as far as from like your Nosferatu
Type.
vampires to like just a dude that walks around during the day that eats people that's a vampire.
Right, but he's subtle about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
so,
what's that
like,
movie that people were with the glittering vampires?
Pilot.
Yeah. So you could either be a horrifying horror character, or you could be a glittery,
glittery
Sounds
vampire
interesting.
monster.
J-pop fucking singer.
You could be a K-pop star.
Yeah. A V-pop star.
Yeah, so it's also going to support smart delivery, which is cool. I'm excited for it. That's going to be hopefully great. I don't
Hopefully
know.
it is good. It was an RPG originally, so it's going to be interesting to see what they do with it. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I'm looking at the preview for it. Or at least the
the marionettes,
all the
the
faces.
people.
yeah, the marionette. That's creepy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean,
Ew.
I'm excited for it.
Shit is dark, bro.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah, it is.
I want to put the sound on, but I don't want to. I'm not gonna.
So did anyone look into more about Scorn?
I watched a handful. Why? What did you find?
So
Maybe a
I don't know if
wiki?
anyone, read about some of it, but I'll just read the brief thing that I have here. But apparently, so the base Scorn is an atmospheric first-person adventure horror game set in all right, let's try that again. Nightmarish universe of odd forms and somber tapestry. It is designed to be around the idea of being thrown into the world, isolated and lost inside this dreamlike world. You will explore different interconnected regions in a non-linear fashion. This unsettling environment is a character itself. Every location contains its own story, with puzzles and characters that are integral in creating a cohesive world. Throughout the game, you will open up new areas, acquire different skill sets, weapons, and various items to try to comprehend the sights presented to you. The features cohesive. It's supposed to be a lived-in world, obviously, from what we can kind of gather that. Scorn takes place in an open-ended world with different interconnected regions. Each region is a maze-like structure with various rooms and paths to discover. All the storytelling happens in-game with no cutscenes to distract you from the grisly reality of the living, breathing world you are in. But keep your eyes open. The game won't show you any sympathy if you miss something important on your uneasy travels. Everything has a reason and a purpose. You just need to work out what it is. Full body awareness. Players will experience better immersion being aware of the character's body and movement. Interaction with the world is realistic. Objects are picked up with your hands instead of just floating in midair. So you're actually going to have to bend down and physically pick them up. That's pretty cool. Machines and instruments are operated by grabbing the controls. And then it just goes about inventory and ammo management and shit. But like, yo, throw this game into VR and I'm going to be fucking horrified.
Yeah. It still doesn't tell us what the hell it's about, though.
I don't think I think realistically, until the game comes out and a bunch of people beat it, I don't think is gonna be anything, because it sounds like the game. It's gonna be like basically it's a big puzzle game with like first person adventure and like action aspects. So I don't think we're supposed to know what the game's about. We're supposed to figure that out.
What movie?
I like games that are like that.
What movie? Which alien was it where he did the black goo bomb? He's in the plane above that city, and then he drops the black goo, and it like eradicates the entire civilization of that little town.
That's not isolation. No, that's not isolation. I don't think, because isolation is
no.
The planet.
Right.
Is that Alien? I don't know.
It's the robot that does it. Dave does it.
That's Prometheus, then, isn't it?
I think so. I think it is Prometheus. This Scorn game kind of reminds me of like what a survivor of that bombing would have gone through. Because like the whole art to the game is so, I don't know. Look at it; it's creepy.
Yeah. It's definitely.
This is what's gonna happen if we don't get Dave under check.
I'm actually genuine. After reading that, like, it seems like a game I'm actually gonna be interested in, because I like those.
You probably would like that one.
Scary games, because I'm a big HP fan. So this feels like a game that would kind of be HP-esque.
It doesn't seem like it has a lot of the tones that come with jump scare games. It seems more like it generates the vibe of just uneasiness.
Yeah, this isn't gonna be the game that's supposed to scare you every now and then and just really, but it's supposed to make you uncomfortable from the beginning.
It's like Silent Hill.
Yeah.
Where it's like throughout the entire thing, like it is an uneasy feeling
and
that you have throughout the entire thing.
Yeah, and the first thing you read in anything you look up about Scorn, it specifically states Scorn is an atmospheric first-person shooter. So like the whole world is supposed to bring you in, and you're supposed to be uncomfortable the whole time. And like I kind of like that, because it's going to keep me like on my toes. And I'm definitely going to be playing this when I get a PS5 or Xbox One X, whatever the fuck it's going to be on. If it's going to be on PlayStation, or I'll just get it on Steam. What the fuck am I thinking?
If it's on Steam,
it is. That's actually where I read that from.
Never mind.
Full immersion.
I'm really excited though. It looks like a really good game. But yeah, continue. I just figured we'd give some update on what that game's going to be like.
Roger that.
Said it's Alien Covenant.
Oh, it was Covenant? That happens?
Supposedly.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. World premiere. Call of the Sea is a video game that's going to be on Game Pass and support smart delivery. It's a first-person adventure game where you're looking for your husband. It has really beautiful cel-shaded graphics, and you get to explore an island. And apparently mermaid.
Wow.
You could swim as a mermaid.
Nice.
Well, who hasn't wanted to do that?
World premiere. Ascent. The Ascent is a game by Neon Giant and Curve Digital. It's going to support smart delivery. Takes place in like a Blade Runner like futuristic city. What?
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. It supports. It's like a Blade Runner like city, like futuristic, gritty, icky, dirty city.
Icky dirty.
Icky, dirty city. Where it's a bunch of aliens, and they have to basically they're in the shitty part of the world, and they have to send up to greener pastures.
It looks. Never mind. I can't think of the name of the game. XCOM. It looks like XCOM, kinda.
It's weird because this is like a twin stick shooter. It looks like,
Yeah, it does.
which is weird.
It's like
I would
like action RPG versus RPG, but XCOM.
Yeah, I would assume, like, this is kind of a weird thing. I would assume that for their big gameplay event, they wanted to show off things that really push the system and show off the power of the Series X. But a twin-stick shooter?
Yeah.
A top-down twin-stick shooter? That's kind of a weird move, in my opinion. But oh well. Hey,
And I'm not. Yeah.
yeah, more to them.
Yep.
One game that I'm
Like-
really...
I'm sorry, not to cut you off, but I just like the fact he said, more to them instead of, they don't even get power. No, just more to them.
Yeah. Walker's texting me. The Medium world premiere. The Medium is a game that I'm actually kind of excited about. It's going to be on Game Pass. Or wait, it might. It's either going to be on Game Pass or support smart delivery. I don't remember. But there's a pregnant lady, and they're doing the little sonogram on her, and turns out the baby might be the devil.
Ooh.
It's coming out holiday 2020. It's pegged as a psychological horror game.
So far, what I'm seeing, actually, artistically, it looks good.
One of the cool things about it, though, and you can really hear it once the music really starts picking up, it's very clear. It's very clear who made the music for this game. And that person is Akira Yamaoka, the composer for Silent Hill. It is very Silent Hill sounding.
It is very Silent Hill looking. I just watched a
yeah.
scene where it literally was like normal, and then like in the movie
Turns
or the
into
when it switches to
it's like a hell world.
Creep Town.
Apparently he's helping with the game, so I'm assuming he's making the music for it. So that's something cool. Maybe that's the closest we're probably ever going to get to a new Silent Hill game. Ever.
Looks like it.
Nate, this is something that you might like.
What's that?
Scarlet Nexus, or world premiere.
I did say this.
Scarlet Nexus is a game by Bandai Namco. Looks like it takes place in future Paris, because there's an Eiffel Tower there. You fight weird plant monsters called the Others. It is to quote me, it is anime as fuck.
It is anime as fuck.
And you use your
What is
telekinesis
this
powers
nonsense?
to throw things around at the others.
What the hell
So-
is this?
So while that's playing and like while we're just waiting in a moment, in the Code Vein community, a lot of people are looking at this as like quote unquote Code Vein in the future kind of thing. Obviously, it's nowhere near the same kind of thing, and also it takes away something that I really like about the Bamco games, like any of the Souls games. Well, not those. Well, yeah, Dark Souls 2 and 3 and Code Vein is the fact that it's your character. As to where this does look good, and I probably will play this because it looks fun as shit, and I've been on a heavy anime / hack and slash kick. I downloaded like 3 different free-to-play MMOs that involve that exact concept 2 days ago, I think. A game called Soul Worker, and I can't remember the other twos. But it looks good, and it looks like it's actually going to have some really fun mechanics to play around with. I want to see gameplay, like actual gameplay first, not just like
The cutscenes and stuff.
cutscene and like quick little gameplay from the trailer. Like, I want to see how the game plays. not
I'm more
just, like,
interested
you
in-
can do this.
I'm interested in the telekinesis aspect.
Yeah,
what
that's
can
another
you
one.
can't use
And,
as
like,
like weapons.
These
So one of
villain
the things-
assets are a little ridiculous, though. Like, what is
like
this?
the plant things, the
Yeah,
giant plant things?
that's call them a giant plant thing is a little. They literally dudes fighting a flower box.
Yeah.
So it depends on how you look at it. You can either be it's a ridiculous flower box, or it's the world taking over, or the world fighting back.
Yeah, but that was
Humans
a,
were the
he-
disease the entire time.
Yeah, but this guy's fighting a bouquet with legs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
and
The
I
plants-
fought a fire totem, fucking
Looks kind of neat,
thing
but
in
weird.
game.
The plants are back and they're pissed.
I see that.
But like, it does look good. It looks like a Bamco game. I'm excited. I'll play it.
Looks Bamco as fuck.
Scarlet Nexus. Yeah, it does.
I think it's going to be fun. My big thing is like the one thing I think a lot of these games miss is some form of jumping and like parkour aspects. I really wish they would do that because I feel like that.
So like having a jump button.
I mean, not even just that. Like, even if it had to do like with like being in mid combo,
Oh.
but like something to like move around a little bit more and take advantage of the actual battlefield instead of just
Okay.
rolling back and forth, or like using like if you're in an area that has like walls and shit, like jump attacks off of a wall or something, like something to make it more like anime, you know?
Okay. I get you.
Just like I feel like a lot of the games could have that. I don't know. I really honestly don't know how intensive that would be for the developers to do, but I feel like that would be cool.
World premiere. Hey, you guys like dinosaurs?
Dinosaurs are cool.
Hey, do you
Sure,
guys like
dinosaurs.
first-person shooters?
All
And
right.
co-op?
Yeah, I like
Cool.
that.
No.
Hey, then Second Extinction is for you. It's a game where you explore the fallen Earth that is overrun by weird dinosaurs. You and a few buddies get to team up and shoot your way through hordes and hordes of dinosaurs.
So, Dinosaurs Left 4 Dead.
Kinda.
This looks kind of dope, actually.
It's going to support smart delivery. So
What
if
is
you buy it
smart
on the
delivery?
So smart delivery is Xbox's way of saying, hey, if you bought this game on the Xbox One, you get it. You get to move up the game to every other console generation. So if you were to buy, say, Second Extinction for the Xbox One when it comes out, a year later you buy the Series X, you automatically have the copy for the Series X version. And then the Series X2 comes out, and there's a Series X2 version of this game. You get that version as well.
Do you think Sony's going to follow suit?
Maybe.
Instead of just making a bunch new PlayStation 5 games?
It's multiplayer Torok.
Maybe. Yeah, it's very multiplayer Turok-y.
I don't know what Turok is.
Aww.
Oof.
Jeff, you look offended.
Turok's great, man. Except for, like, the PS2 one and the Xbox 360 and PS3 one. Like, the N64 ones are fantastic. Think of GoldenEye, but with dinosaurs.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. It's a classic. It paved the way for.
Was that game in arcades?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
Nope.
I'm familiar with dinosaur arcade games.
Yeah, I mean, there is a bunch of like Jurassic Park games.
I know you guys talked about this a couple weeks ago, but I looked into it a little bit more, and that the new Assassin's Creed Valhalla looks dope.
Well, hey, we got one more thing, and then we get to talk about the exclusive world premiere gameplay trailer of Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Oh, didn't we talk about that last week or like the
We
week
did,
before?
but this is a different one.
Oh,
Just for this event. At least to me, the biggest thing that they showed off at this thing was, picture it, Japan, 2019. All of a sudden, here comes this fucking loser with a giant afro going, hey, I'm a Yakuza man. My name's Ichiban. And it's just Yakuza like a dragon. The new Yakuza game's coming out for the Xbox Series X, Xbox One, and Windows 10.
Nice.
They showed off literally everything that was already talked about. But we kind of have an idea of a release date. Because every game at this event, at this little press thing, is going to be either launch day or launch window. We know that it's coming out late this year, early next year. One of the two.
So,
That's
Mr. Yakuza himself. Do we know this character? Or is this
We do
new?
not. He's a new character.
Okay.
Completely new character. Getting away from Kiryu, although Kiryu comes into play in this one.
Of
But
course.
completely different character.
Because Kiryu can't stay out of Yakuza.
Papa Kiryu is great. Daddy Kiryu is great. Get out of
everybody
here.
knows that character is supposed to be
Oh.
DJ Professor K from Jet Set Radio.
He kind of does. Like, you're not wrong. He's a whiter version of him.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You ever play Jet Set Radio?
No, he hasn't.
I don't know what that is.
I've made fun of him many times for it.
I think
Don't
that game.
worry,
I think
I'm-
I think the Jet Set Radio Future had a really good soundtrack to it.
You can actually listen to all the what's his name, Hideki Nakamura, the composer for that game.
Mhm.
All of his songs for like Jet Grind Radio and Jet Set Radio Future are on Spotify.
I
He
might have to
also-
listen to that after the show.
He also really likes Family Guy for the memes.
For
So,
the
I
juicy
follow him on
memes.
Twitter. He follows me on the Twitter, and I follow him back, and he's just a meme lord.
So, out of curiosity, this Yakuza, because the last Yakuza is like I've played like probably like an hour and a half or 2 hours of Yakuza 0. Obviously,
need to
not
play
enough,
more.
but of course. But so those obviously like when you're in fighting, you have those like abilities and shit, but they're not actually, as far as I can tell, they're not actually like a part of the world. They're just a fighting mechanic. Like you don't actually have like this aura around you, and like it's not like supernatural or anything. But like, unless I'm wrong, because I don't know a lot, but this one looks like it's more going out of the box of reality.
Yeah, so this one's an RPG, a turn-based RPG. And everything is basically in his head. The main character is a huge Dragon Quest fan. The only thing that got him through prison, his 10-year prison sentence, was Dragon Quest. One of the quotes he says is, "Everything will be all right, and we'll all live happily ever after, just like in Dragon Quest." And the summons that happen in the game don't actually happen. He's just thinking that they're. One of them is he throws like a bunch of like crawfish come down from the sky. It starts raining crawfish and just biting people. After he makes a phone call. And in reality, he's pretty much just picking up crawfish and just eating them at the bad guys. But that's what he thinks because fucking love Dragon Quest, man. This is what would happen in Dragon Quest.
All right, fair enough.
God, I can't wait for this game. I am actually. No, it's like $83. I'm actually tempted to buy the Japanese version of the game right now. Make a Japanese PlayStation account, buy the game just so I can play it.
It's out right now?
It's out in Japan. It's been out for like almost a year.
How do you make a Japanese PlayStation?
Just change your location to Japan.
Oh,
It's that easy.
that's kind of tempting.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It's like 83. It's like 83 or 8,300 yen. So it's like $75.
Why? That's
Yeah. It's
Okay.
it's a little expensive. And then finally, the last thing, the thing that they were hyping up for the entire show. Hey, we got exclusive world premiere Assassin's Creed Valhalla gameplay. And guess what they didn't fucking show? They showed they didn't show any gameplay. They showed a pre-rendered cutscene. They showed just pre-rendered stuff. But hey, the bird is back. Ships are back.
I'm just hoping they do an actual story.
Well, apparently this one's going to be very toned down compared to the Odyssey because a lot of people are pissed off at Odyssey.
Well, yeah,
So
Odyssey
Why?
was too big.
Yeah.
Because you literally couldn't do anything because of how big it was, apparently. That was the biggest complaint I heard out of probably one of the biggest Assassin's Creed fans. Sorry.
All right,
I know.
chill out.
Bless you.
But yeah, like apparently it took so long because like to get all the missions done, you pretty much had to go across the majority of the map, and it just took forever. But I don't know. Like Assassin's Creed kind of lost me a little bit after Desmond died. So
Spoilers.
it hasn't been like. Oh, it was 2012. That was 8 years ago.
Spoilers.
That's like saying fucking, I don't know, spoilers from an older thing.
Sure.
I can't think of anything right now. It's like saying fucking Charlie gets the chocolate factory in Willy Wonka.
God damn it!
Yeah.
I was halfway through that movie.
Dude, have you guys ever seen the I know you're not a huge fan of Fat Pat or Matt Pat or whatever the fuck that kid's name is, but he has a really fun film theory on the quantity of OSHA violations that the Willy Wonka chocolate factory has. And like the whole
Oh my god.
it's really good actually. I highly and then there is a little like there's like a twist at the end too about how actually fucked up Willy Wonka is. I recommend checking that video out. It's pretty good.
I'll probably play this game. It does look pretty dope.
You want to see something that's a good read? Go to twitter.com and look up video games that violate the Geneva Convention.
That's awesome.
It's from the Hard Drive or Hard Times
Probably most of them.
publication. And yeah, it just goes through a bunch of games and it tells you, hey, this game violates this code from the Geneva Convention.
Nice.
It's great. It's the dumbest thing ever. Well, hey, that's the Xbox Series X news that I have, and that means I am all out of news.
I have one little thing.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Nothing too crazy. If you guys, if there are any Elite Dangerous or what's that, Star Citizen fans out there, there's a neat little app you can get for your phone called Game Glass. It'd be interesting to see what they do with this in the future, but in a nutshell, it turns your phone or your tablet into a controller for your game, which is kind of neat. So like when I'm playing, for instance, I have my phone sitting like right here, and if I want to initiate my heat sinks or night vision or chaff or even my warp drive, I can just hit a button on my phone and do it. So it has the Elite Dangerous like motif to it too. So it, for those that really are into that type of immersion piece, it's a nice little additive to it, and it's free for the main two. They call them shards, which is basically, think of it like different profiles. So if you're fighting, it has this one. If you're exploring, it has this one. And they give you 2 of them for free, and then you can pay for the other 2 if you wish. But I've been playing with it, and it's kind of cool because even though the button says like night vision, if I alt tab out of the game and hit the button, the computer recognizes it as the keys on my keyboard were pressed. So, and then you can even go into a XML sheet or Notepad, whatever you want to use, and adjust the macros that those are attached to, which is kind of cool. But Game Glass is what it's called. Check it out if you're into that kind of game. But yeah, I don't have anything really special other than that. We kind of talked about all the stuff I wanted to talk about.
All right.
Who wants to go next?
Anything?
No, nothing too crazy this week.
All
Haven't
right.
got to it.
So I talked a little bit about this earlier. And Jeff,
yeah.
This is where we're going to have a conversation. And anyone else who wants to hop in.
Yeah.
So, as everyone knows the good old King Weeb Elon, correct? Good old Elon Musk.
Yeah.
So,
He makes those Tesla cars.
yeah.
Somebody
makes a
needed the
Tesla car,
reference.
And he made not a flamethrower.
And he also runs the Boring Company, which is creating giant systems underneath our Earth for travel down the road.
Highways and stuff.
Highways under the
Um,
Earth, and SpaceX.
So, there is a thing called Neuralink.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Okay, so is anyone else familiar with what Neuralink is besides Jeff and myself? I imagine Mark probably have heard of it, or no?
I would imagine it's kind of like using your brains to like control, like if you have, say, like an artificial limb, using your brain, it kind of connects to your brain and you can use it like a
Opposite.
regular
So-
hand.
Same idea, but like just flip it around. So the computer actually
You're
helps
thinking
control you.
here.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So, Neuralink, essentially, the way it would be installed. So, we're going to start there, then we'll explain what it does. We're going to cut out a chunk of your skull, all right? Not too big. And then they're going to feed the strands into different neurons of your brain. And then they're going to heal it back up, and you're going to be all good. So,
Except you're gonna have a little socket on the outside of your head, like in Matrix. Actually, I don't know if that's true. I don't think that's. Yeah, I don't think that's what it
It's
is.
supposed to run off of the electrons in your brain.
Right.
Supposedly. Yeah, it's gonna be completely sealed off. It's not gonna be something you have to plug in or fucking charge your head at night. You listen to the podcast, the same one I did. He talked about
Yeah.
pretty much everything about it that he can disclose at the time being, at least.
Right.
So essentially, his idea is to have a pure symbiosis with AI and technology. I am extremely, extremely interested in it. Would I ever do it? I'm 50-50 on that. I don't quite know. But what do you guys think about this? So basically, the concept is it's going to help you be symbiotic with AI. So that you're going to be able to pretty much have the AI be an extension of yourself. It's hard to explain because he doesn't talk. He talks about it kind of cryptically because he can't talk about a lot of it.
Right.
But basically, you're going to start transcending normality. You're going to start being able to talk to people without speaking. And one of the big the analogies that he put was, you know how you have this really complex idea that you know exactly what you're trying to think about and talk about, but you can't physically speak it to another person. And then when you try it, it sounds convoluted and it's kind of chopped up. And they're like, yeah, I get it. But realistically, we all know none of each other gets exactly what the other person's saying when they're talking about something crazy and convoluted, because it just gets jumbled up and chopped up and messed up when it comes out and people stutter, all that good stuff. This will be able to perfectly transfer that exact thought, exactly what you were trying to get out, to the person so they can understand what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And the theory is, if everything goes perfectly, 100% best case scenario, the idea is in about 5 to 10 years, no one would ever have to speak again if they so chose to go through this.
Well, that would totally fuck up this show.
I mean, yeah. But podcasts, realistically, we'd all just get on and then.
But you
everything.
could technically be able to ingest this podcast, a couple hour long podcast, instantaneously. You would instantly just know the information. What's the name of that game where he takes the big gun and he sticks it in his eye and he learns all this knowledge, but if you if you do it again, you actually forget everything that has happened in the
You're
last.
talking about Chuck, aren't you?
I don't know what it's called. It's a game.
Oh, it's a game. Okay.
Yeah, it's a game. Yeah. But either way, basically you can ingest knowledge almost instantaneously. So it's I think it's a very neat idea. They're gonna start using it in respects to, because I actually brought it up to a friend of mine, and this person's a little bit more into the religious type of thing, and he says, well, that sounds like the Mark of the Beast type stuff, and I'm just like, I don't think that's it. But
Elon referred to those kind of people as brain purists.
brain purists. Everybody knows that the Mark of the Beast is your social security number. Yeah, there's gonna be some people thinking about that. It's not a tattoo. It's not a chip. It's not something that you are forced. Well, it is something you're forced. It's your social security number, 100%. That's what I think it is. But you can't buy anything without it. You can't work without it. You can't have a bank account without it. Sounds like the way they described it. But anyways, I think they're going to use it, like say for instance, you are crippled from the waist down and those neurons are not working anymore. It's going to, in practical application, in the alpha type of way, they're going to start with that type of idea. Grandma has Alzheimer's. She is forgetting her kid's name. She's kind of losing her mind a little bit. They're going to implement it into these people first, to bring them back to reality and to bring people that are handicapped back into, also blind people. Imagine not having eyes, period, but you're still able to see the world around you via this technology. So it's gonna be, it's interesting. It's neat that we're moving in that direction. Would I get it done? Definitely, 100%, 100%. I would do that. I would do that in a heartbeat. I'm also the type of person that thinks people that say that I wouldn't want to live forever as crazy. I want to live forever. I want to live forever. Like, think about it. I mean, think about your favorite things in the world. You're never gonna get those again. You know what I mean? Like,
would be fucking perfect.
yeah, that'd be dope. I'm in that camp of people that are
100%.
down with that.
Talking about immortality, and everyone's like, "You're fucking crazy." This, that, the third. I'm like, bro, you need to watch civilizations be built and then fall and then build again and get to experience everything.
Right. So I'm in the Doctor Who camp of that. So it's gonna be neat. It's fascinating. I think it's really, really, really interesting. And I mean, when you think about it, everything's already mapped. We already know how most of it works. I mean, it's not that crazy to think that we're going to be moving into that direction anyways. He used an example of it as an extension of yourself, sort of like your phone. Now, I mean, imagine if you had your phone built into your head, that type of idea. Now,
instant access.
I can understand why people don't want to do it. I can 100% empathize. I get it. I understand. It sounds pretty crazy, but just imagine how much knowledge. I mean, I bet I wouldn't have anywhere near as many issues with my memory if I could just think about it and open the file in my head and, oh, there it is. So it's going to be interesting. Neuralink is what it's called for those that want to do their own research into it. I'd be interested to hear in the comments, what your guys' thoughts are on that type of thing. But I don't have much more on it other than that,
My thing with it is like, so as he said it's like an extension of yourself, kind of like how your phone is. And the fact that you'd be able to access the database of everything instantaneously is so fascinating to me.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it would completely wipe any social norms. School would be fucking irrelevant. Everything would fall to its knees. And because people wouldn't, stupidity would effectively obviously they'll find a way, because
yeah, you may have all the knowledge, that doesn't mean you have common sense.
Right, exactly. It puts the parts there. If you don't know how to use them, you're fucked. But like, it's just so fascinating because like the fact he used it to the point of like the reason like we all forget is because like we can only hold so much data realistically. Like our brains can only say it's basically a 32 gigabyte hard drive or memory card, whatever, and it's full.
Oh, there's
and
comments.
every time we learn something new, we end up forgetting a little bit of something every now and then. But then he points it to the fact of like phones can hold like terabytes of storage or like cloud data, and he really pointed to the fact that like you can just start pulling things from the cloud. Like, you don't want to remember that. You can just fucking move it, and if you need it, oh, there it is. Now I can talk to you about this.
My buddy Manny says I work with AI for work, so hashtag big nopes.
Like, so he also put in the fact that it's AI, but it's not something else. It's you.
Right.
And like, Joe was like, "Are people right to be afraid?" And because like all these movies depict the evolution of technology and the symbiosis with humanity as scary or negative, or everyone's biggest comment, Skynet. I don't think that's exactly what would happen. I think that's a worst case scenario situation.
It does push us though in the direction. I mean, I know this is kind of silly. It really, I mean, the idea that the Matrix type, you know, even what's that game or that anime that you're in the game?
Sword Art Online.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as a metaphor, you know, it really does move us in that direction. Like, what happens when society itself is absorbed into that technology, and everybody's, you know, it's a normal thing. It's like getting an upgraded cell phone. You know, will we one day reach a point where, you know, as long as we got the thing feeding us and our, you know, whatever's, you do live in that virtual world. You know, I have an issue with addictive video games as it is. Like,
so from what he was saying, and obviously this could go further in the future, but like, it's gonna be daily assistance and just like knowledge. So it's not necessarily going to be like you're removing yourself from the actual world. It's supposed to just be beneficial, but not take out the humanity aspect of it. It's really interesting, and I think the fact that we're going to have too many people on the fence about it, that it won't ever come to a perfect fruition, but it'll be like for the people who actually want to see what the next stage of reality, like not the next stage, but like the next stage of like evolution or like the next phase of humanity.
Well, there are going to be a few groups that really are going to push it. Like, it's going to be a medical field thing for sure for those people that are dealing with handicap issues, dealing with the mentally ill issues.
Yeah,
you know, and then there's also going to be people that are they called transhumanists? Is that what they are? Is it trans?
Or want to go past humanity?
Want to go past humanity.
Oh yeah, they're just
transhumanist, I think is the term. Let me check real quick.
I'm not positive, just basically like the people who are interested in transcending.
Is a philosophical movement that advocates for the transformation of the human condition by developing and making widely available sophisticated technologies to greatly enhance human intellect and physiology. So yeah, it's definitely going to be pushed by that group. Manny says if AI worked like it did in the movies, that would be okay. But AI is a bunch of stupid piled up in a warehouse to trick humans into thinking it's smart. You know. So we'll see where it goes. I mean, in the podcast, I recommend it. It's It's the most recent, and it actually just came. What was it? May 6th, I think is when it came out. Joe Rogan, Elon Musk. He explains it very well, of course, because that's That's his. Isn't that his? That's his?
That's his. He is creating this, yes.
So
not to cut you off, my apologies.
You're good.
But he did implicitly say, because Joe Rogan was like, would you do it? He's like,
if it works. If it works.
He's like, you wouldn't get it day one. He's like, as long as it works.
Yeah.
Like, he just kept insisting that, like, I'm down. I would 100% do it.
I don't think I would be one of the alpha testers, but
maybe beta. We might play around.
Maybe beta, yeah, maybe. But
if I can get it at like a steep discount or something, if I have beta, I don't know.
I think the biggest pushback you are going to have though for it is from the religious communities.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, they're the ones that are going to super push on it because, again, everybody thinks that a chip in your arm is the mark of the beast, and you're going to go to hell if you get it. Like. I understand why they think this. I grew up in a in a Christian home, but at the same time, like I said, my personal opinion is I think your social security number is the mark of the beast if it was going to be a thing, but
My issue isn't necessarily the brain thing. I feel that if people would have issues with how intrusive that sort of thing is. Like,
there is an amazing short film produced a couple years ago called Sight. If I can find it, I'll put it in the Discord for those interested in checking it out. But it is a really dope video that basically it's a guy taking a woman on a date, and he has these cyber augments that basically his vision is like a phone. So the first couple scenes of it, he's sitting on a couch, and it's just white walls all around him. And from his perspective, though, there's a TV on that wall. He has imagine if you were a gamer and you had all your trophies. He has a wall that has all of that. His calendar and what he's going to wear for the day. He can just kind of think and flip through the different outfits. But on the outside, it's literally just white walls. And it has a really dark twist at the end. I definitely recommend it, but that's the type of thing I think a lot of people are going to be worried about too. Like you said, Mark, what happens if they hack into it? Can somebody hack into this technology?
Well, it's like, what if you just want to turn it off, or like if you are paranoid like me, and it's like, I'm searching for all these things in my head. What are they doing with the information that they're doing? Or I'm having all these normal thoughts. Like, can they hear those as well? Like,
you're having a dream and you suddenly get an advertisement for something.
Like, what if they can get the information that I could see or hear or anything like that? Like, just that sort of stuff would really make me uneasy as a consumer.
Right.
And I feel that would probably be also like an issue getting it adopted. It's just not a lot of people would be comfortable having something that intrusive. Like, I can understand having... I was reading about something that MIT did recently. They invented a kind of technology that you attach to your face that uses your neural waves to understand your thoughts. It's called alter ego, and their use case was, let's say you're paralyzed and you've never been able to talk, or haven't been able to talk for 10, 20 years. You put this on your face and you have a basic level of speak at that point, just using your alpha waves or whatever.
Wow.
That's
And
dope.
it's just like a little thing you attach to it. You don't have to put it into your head. That's my biggest problem is like, what if next week I'm just like, I want to stop getting these Twitter ads out of my brain. Like, how do I do that?
And there is also some thought around the idea of solar flare, an EMP, right? What happens if there's an X-Class 4 solar flare that decides it wants to belch all over the planet, and suddenly your fucking brain is short-circuiting, which can potentially happen even today if there's a big enough electromagnetic pulse, or if a solar flare kicks off too hard, it can actually do damage to your brain.
My assumption with that is there would be some sort of... I'm trying to figure out the best way to put it. It's not like kind of like a surge protector. How it'll fry itself before it fries the house. So like it would just break itself, and instead of sending the electrodes through the strands going into your brain. That's what I would imagine. Like, it's Elon Musk. Like, realistically, everyone can call him what he wants, but like the dude thinks about things, and like he's fucking intelligent. Like, he's got to have something for like a specific kind of situation. And I feel like the surge protector idea would probably be like what they would do for a fail-safe kind of thing if something were to happen like that. Or say it overloads, like, because that would be a concern other people would have as well. And you would just be able to have it, like, you wouldn't have to, it would just do it itself. It would just shock itself, and you're okay because it stopped the overload.
Yeah. Talk about just-in-time information. Yeah, man, he says install it, and then bam, the IQ drops down to 20, and you're now an NPC.
Like, Oh, they made a Futurama episode about it.
Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah, the mom phone. They like stick it all the way up in your brain, and then everybody turned into zombies to buy more phones. But that's what I'm saying. It's intrusive, and that bothers me. Like
Right.
it's cool. Like I want to see where it goes. Like I like the idea. It's just as of right now, with the details that they give you, it just seems way too vague for me to be comfortable with doing it.
Yeah,
So
the idea of literally installing it into your body is what, you
Like
know.
working with AI and programming, like the idea of having a computer in your head just makes me uneasy, just with how everything is right now.
I have a comment about that, but James, go ahead because you've been quiet.
I can see it being something very useful for very specific applications, but I can't see it really being a
Day-to-day sort of thing.
like the new
regular
norm.
Joe. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I could see it again being used very heavily in the medical field, but for at least as of right now, I cannot see it being used
Well,
for everyone.
one of
I'm
the
on
things.
opposite side of the fence, just in my personal opinion. But yeah, go ahead.
Well, one of the things that Joe Rogan brings up in that idea is, won't the people that do go on board, aren't they going to have a ridiculous advantage over those that do not? I mean, think
100%.
about it. If you got 100 people in the classroom and then suddenly one of these dudes gets this installed and
He's
10 times, he said Elon said at the minimum, an individual that has this, you could think they're about 10 times, because they're able to access anything whenever they, you know what I mean? Like,
and it's like that.
yeah. So it makes that person much more far advanced, you know. So does that create an uncompetitive field? Which Elon responds back with, well, it's already an unfair,
That's also
Sit-
factual. Yeah.
you know, based on economical and location standards. You know, somebody in the middle of the jungle in Africa, for instance, might not have the resources that we have here, you know, and when you look at it from what contributions you're going to make to the world, or, you know what I mean, how you're going to evolve as far as in that competitive landscape.
Something I definitely agree. Something that kind of interests me with something that Mark was saying is that, do you think this is even realistically doable if you had a removable version? Because I know you said like your biggest issue is the fact you have to get it installed. I don't think it's feasible that you would be able to make this in depth of a product and not have it be a permanent thing. Or how would you do it
Right.
if it's something you could remove? I don't
Right,
think it
and
would
then
be
does it cause damage removing it? Because it literally connects to your neural net.
like unplugging a phone hundreds of times, because eventually it would mess up the port, because that would be what it would meant to do. It's like this. I don't think it could be a thing you could get rid of. And I'm 100% like, I'm on board with you, but I'm also on the board with, fuck it, let's see what this happens, and if it's available for me, I'm gonna try it.
Well, nowadays too, though, with stem
Well,
cells
the
technology,
thing.
you could probably, if it did damage, you just put a little drops of that there stem cell on it, and boom, your brain's all working good again. You know, by the time this stuff comes out and it's normalized, but maybe they still haven't figured out male pattern baldness with it. So stem cell, that is, they're working on it. I have my eye on that.
Elon needs to do that before going.
Stop,
into
yeah.
people's brains.
Stop sending rockets into outer space, Elon. Work on the things that matter, like male pattern baldness, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah. Yes, let's conquer male pattern baldness before we can go into instantly accessing the internet from our brains.
Just go to forhims.com, not a sponsor.
I will. I'll check it out.
No, seriously, like so completely off topic, but like you actually bring that up. At
Yeah,
least,
there's products for it.
yeah, like,
Yeah, there
you
are.
100% have options for that. Just you got to do it.
It's more of a humor piece.
Don't you know
No,
ball
I got
sleeves
you.
for men?
But yeah, like what's your thought on that, Mark? Like, do you think there's a way to do it, having it be removable, or do you think that it's just a thing that like you have to wait and see kind of how it goes when it's a perfect installation kind of thing?
That's what I'm saying. Like, if they're developing this kind of technology, like I would assume that they would think of all the different aspects and different ways of handling it and finding a solution. Like the most way that would actually solve their problem. And then yeah, like if they decide, like I think it could be perfectly possible to have a removable option. It depends on what the company does, what the public wants, just a bunch of different aspects. But like if you put enough money and time into it, I don't like if they're able to go this far, like being able to put things in your fucking head and access the internet. I think that's the biggest hurdle to go over. Making it removable is just a second thought.
The removable side of things, though, that's actually in my personal opinion, that concerns me more than the permanent installation, because that would leave some form of opening, and that could cause more issues. Obviously, depending which way they do it, but like having a
I think it's a double-edged sword at that point. It's like
for sure.
Physical versus cloud storage. It's like, well, cloud storage is cool, but somebody could hack into your account. Physical storage is cool, but somebody could break into your house and steal it. So.
Well, that's kind of where he was going with it, because Joe kind of asks, well, what does this mean for us and as a species, and he kind of just elaborated on the idea that you as a human are more in the cloud.
Yeah,
you're
that's
more
true. Your
in
brain is a cloud.
Yeah, but you would be connected to the cloud, which it's an interesting idea. Could you imagine you're getting, it's either date night or just you're on a date and things are starting to get hot and heavy and shit's about to get real, and then suddenly you get a firmware update. You get a firmware update, like on your phone.
Get some malware in your brain.
Right. Suddenly you get pop-ups all the time.
Can't stop seeing ads.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want that shit. Like,
right.
There's always some flaw somewhere, and that's what really.
Yeah. And everything's exploitable.
Especially whenever they're putting it in your head and you need a doctor to get it out. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever happened to those people that got that little? Remember hearing about the people that got the thing installed in their jawbone? It was like a phone or a radio. Yeah, there's videos. I'm sure you can find them on YouTube, but there's people that have gotten like a little piece of technology installed. Think of Metal Gear Solid.
Okay.
Oh yeah, where Snake has the microphone implanted in his neck.
Yeah. I think it's in his jawbone. It vibrates his jawbone.
Yeah, it vibrates.
Because it's a real technology.
There's an actuator in his jawbone that vibrates the bone so he can hear it, but no one else can hear it.
Right.
And he has a microphone implanted right on his vocal cord, so all he needs to do is just press on his throat, and it activates it, and he can speak extremely quietly, but it sounds like he's talking normally. Yeah.
So that technology already exists. So I'm wondering how those people are doing.
I mean, like, you haven't heard any massive scandals about it, about people fucking like exploding or some shit. So I mean, maybe pretty well.
I mean, that's a win, I guess.
Yeah.
One of the things that kind of turns me off to the idea is it makes you dependent.
Same aspect, though, I feel like it kind of removes the dependency for normality and like having to learn as well. Like, also, once again, well, yeah, for sure. Like, say you do get EMP'd and it does just fry itself. Say it doesn't affect you. It's just dead space in your head now. Like, realistically, it wasn't needed anyhow, because it would sit flush with the skull and you would put the skull back on it and all this shit would just be fine. And it does get wiped out somehow and doesn't affect you, but now you don't know all that stuff. But realistically, you were never actually learning that stuff. You were just able to access that information instantaneously.
Right. Retention.
So, like, you're not per se losing anything, but it also affects the entire aspect of what you're supposed to be able to gain. So yeah, I get where you're coming from, for sure. But like, I don't know. Like, it's two schools of thought.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's really fucking interesting, though, and I'm glad we actually were able to have a conversation about it, because I found it so fascinating. I was listening on my way.
Yeah, me too. I thought it was very interesting.
Elon is... Dude's Jimmy fucking Neutron IRL. Like, I swear to God.
Listen, all I'm asking for him to do is just team up
You
with
want cat-
Japanese and make us cat girls. And anything else, I don't care. Everything else can just get thrown under the rug. Cat Girl Initiative 2021.
Elon for president, we'll bring cat girls.
Vote for
Instead of Vermin
Manson.
Supreme, everyone gets a tiger. Elon Musk, everyone gets a cat girl.
Well, Vermin Supreme, everyone gets a pony.
I thought it was everyone gets a tiger.
Pony. Maybe
Someone-
now it's a tiger, but I know it used to be a pony. Last election it was a pony.
Nobody thought tigers were
Tigers are
cool until
popular
Tiger
now.
got until
Tigers are
until the Tiger King came along.
Tigers are in vogue right now.
Yeah, I heard that back in 2015. I don't know, maybe I heard the wrong person. Oh well.
Nate, you have anything else? Or should we get on to releases?
I don't think I have anything else. Just small updates on like Apple products. Y'all have heard me rant and rave over about that. Just we are confirmed with 120 hertz display Pro Motion on the Pro models. Organic LED on all models though, so we're not gonna get like. So you're gonna get separation here. You're either gonna get the phone that costs a decent amount, or you're gonna get a phone that costs a lot. And like realistically, the prices are honestly pretty fucking reasonable because they did end up leaking the actual price list for it. It's gonna start, I want to say, at $750 for the just for the basic iPhone 12. No, it's $7 for the iPhone 12, and then that's for the little one. Then the big normal one, the 6.1 inch, I believe, is going to be $750. Then you go to the Pro series at $999, and then the Max is going to start at $1099.
These phones are too fucking much money. These phones are too expensive. This is ridiculous.
Even the one you bought too, right?
Yes, even the one I bought too. All of the phones are too expensive.
As long as all phones are too expensive.
All phones are too damn expensive. This is ridiculous. It costs like $50 to make a damn smartphone. Like what the hell? And why is this one $35
Because it can't.
and
do
this
everything
one
it can do.
$1,000? Like what? I can play Pokemon just fine on both. I can do VR on both. Like
What you can't do is everything else besides just Pokemon.
but Pokemon's heavy.
It's not.
Pokemon drains my battery so fast in this little
That's
fucking
because you
thing.
probably have the VR on, and VR does take up a lot. But like,
Well, and also
Not
uses
that
the
intensive.
location services a lot.
Yeah.
And GPS really kills the battery.
but
Yeah,
like,
it does. Yeah. But
all
Quality.
phones aren't created equal.
Yeah, quality of parts, time to create it, marketing, all of that overhead, general markup that companies do, like all of that gets put into the price of the phone.
R&D.
I
Yeah.
genuinely
Yeah.
believe that $1,000 is a comfortable point for a high-end phone in 2020. That's where I'm at.
For me, that's kind of where I limited at.
yeah,
Yeah, like, I
but
personally
isn't it?
wouldn't buy like a $2,000 phone? You got me fucking up.
But isn't it?
Uh,
Isn't am I wrong? Isn't it a lot less expensive in a lot of other countries? Like I was reading something a couple of years ago that was basically suggesting that in quite a few other countries, the list of countries that charge ridiculous prices for phones were substantially smaller than the list of countries that charge reasonable prices. Like for instance, the example I mean it was a while ago, so it might have been like the iPhone 7 or something, but they were saying how in the US this phone is like $1,000, but in these, and then it had a big list of all these other countries, and the phone was like $250.
The same phone?
The same phone. And the reason that our phones here are so
Yeah.
are the reason our phones are so expensive here is simply because we allow it.
iPhones are more expensive in the majority of other countries than they are in the US.
Well, things in like Malaysia and India, they typically are a lot cheaper. Just because companies are trying to get their foot in the door, so they're willing to take the loss on it.
Yeah, that's factual. And like why the same Samsung phone is cheaper in say the UK is because they use an entirely different processor. They use the Exynos processor instead of the Qualcomm processor. It's cheaper. And it works better on those towers as well. Which was actually a whole thing because apparently the Exynos processors weren't keeping up and Samsung got into fire for that. But Samsung being under fire for something, but their phone's not working. Go figure.
There's something going wrong.
But just it tends every year. There's something.
Well, at least they haven't caught on fire in a while.
That is true.
Did you know when those phones were doing that, the iPhone's batteries actually had a 0.04% higher chance of popping than the Note 7s? Is that what it was?
Yeah, because that was around the iPhone 8 time, I believe, if I remember correctly. No.
Because it was the Samsung Note 7s that were popping.
Yeah, because the Note 7s were around. No, it was an iPhone 7. They had the fact that there's some of the batteries inflated, but they never popped and they never blew up because the insulation actually like caused it to stop, from what I remember.
Oh, okay.
You are accurate. That is a thing that had happened, but it was better handled instead of Samsung just being like. I want to say the 7 was pretty much one of their last ditch efforts to really make that franchise come back, because it was slowly slowing down, if I remember, because the 4 was really big. The 5 was pretty big. It wasn't as big because that was like another boom of all the phones getting really good again. And like everyone was like starting to like cell phones again. And that was like the big phone era. Now people want them smaller again, but whatever. But yeah, iPhone has a bunch of fucking issues too. I'm a big Apple fan, but I'm not like gonna ignore it. Like we've had fucking Bendgate, but realistically, that's not Apple's fault. That's people putting an aluminum phone in their back pocket. You should know what's gonna happen. But yeah, just a bunch of shit happens. Like phones aren't perfect. Never buy a phone on launch date because you're gonna have a problem, more than likely. But yeah, I don't really have anything else for that. There was some Pixel news, mainly more on the fact that they're not going to be making it's not going to be a quote unquote traditional flagship. It's going to be that more affordable aspect. And I don't know how new this is. I think I might be like a week or so late, but Pixel Buds are officially orderable for pre-order, and it's super dope. They honestly look really good, and if I didn't spend the money on these guys, I would probably get a pair of Pixel Buds, because the only thing I care about in the Pixel Buds is the fact that they can do the translation, which is super dope to me. And they're going to be like small, compact, like AirPods. They're going to be like, my biggest thing with a pair of wireless earbuds is if I can fit them in my little change pocket in my jeans, I think that's a perfect size, and that's all I ask for. I don't want to have to fucking carry around a Powerbeats Pro case that's this fucking big, and I can't fit it anywhere besides my backpack. But yeah, that's all I really got. And anything else? What do we got for releases?
All right, let's take a look at releases.com.
Releases.com.
Up until I looked at it earlier. I looked at what you guys were talking. The 17th. So today, the 11th, we have Emma Lost in Memories coming out for the PS4 and Vita. Gunbird coming out for the PC. And on the 12th, we got Jet Lancer coming out for the Switch and PC. Now that's what I call pod racing. Star Wars Episode 1 Pod Racer coming out for the Nintendo Switch on the 12th. Hunt Down coming out for the PS4 and PC on the 12th. Thy Sword coming out for the PS4 on the 12th. On the 13th, we got Island Saver coming out for PS4 and Xbox One. Deep Rock Galactic coming out for PC and Xbox One. Super Mega Baseball 3 coming out for Switch and PS4. Potada Fairy Flower coming out for PS4 and Xbox One on the 13th. Thy Sword coming out for the Xbox One on the 13th. Ion Fury coming out for the PS4 and Switch on the 14th. Oddworld Munch's Odyssey coming out for the Switch.
Ew, that's a fun one.
Colat coming out for the Switch on the 14th. And then on the 15th, we have Dungeons of the Endless coming out for the PS4 and Nintendo Switch. Pong Quest coming out for the PS4. Tactical Champs coming out for the PS4 and Xbox One. Emma Lost in Memories coming out for the Xbox One. Hatsune Miku Project Diva Mega Mix coming out for the Switch on the 15th. Fault Milestone 1 on the PlayStation 4 also coming out on the 15th. And
Dope.
that's it. That's what's coming out for releases.
That is what is up.
So, well, it looks like Mark and Nate left. So, Jeff, why don't you tell us what's coming up? What's coming out?
Yeah,
And where can they find you?
Yeah. So, I don't have a lot on the board as far as what to do. I'm kind of I still got to get things set up here. I keep procrastinating. I keep getting sucked into that damn space game.
I keep procrastinating on making my Animal Crossing town look nice.
It's a struggle,
I
isn't
keep
it?
saying today's the day I'm gonna add those roads and terraform and that kind of stuff.
Make
but
it
then I look-
nice.
yeah, and then I'm like, I don't have like 8 hours
I know,
to blow
man.
on that.
I don't know. I mean, I've been playing the hell out of the Elite Dangerous. I've been having a great deal of fun with it, but I'm kind of running into a, well, what do I do now situation. I have some buddies that actually quite a few people have gotten into it. The last couple days I've been a little reclusive, which I do every once in a while, but so I don't know, maybe if I get more people to play. And I've been playing a lot of the solo stuff too, so they have a whole open world. They actually classify it as an RPG for some reason. It's not, I don't know, it's kind of an RPG. I don't think it's really an RPG all that much, but I was thinking about, though, and I always say this, but I never do it, the idea of putting together a story that combines a couple games together. You know, I've been actually brainstorming ideas as to what would be this, you know, the story in general. Like, why is this character on this quest? You know, I think it would be kind of cool to like have a, you know, you're playing Elite and you get a mission to do something, but in order to do it, you have to fly to this island on this planet, and now we're playing, you know, Ark, and then you keep that story arc in mind. You know, and then you bring that back. You know, find a way to cut it together so it actually looks cohesive.
Yeah.
But other than that, there's a few games on my radar that I've been thinking about streaming. I just don't know if I want to stream them or if I want to make them like the higher quality, cut up and edited and audio effects and all that other jazz. So I'm still trying to kind of figure that one out. There's a few horror games actually which is funny because I don't like horror games, but sometimes people like to watch me play them. So it's probably because I don't like them, and I suspend my disbelief way too damn hard. So there's a few games that I've been kind of looking at right now, though. What the hell's the name of that game? With the it's like the Vikings.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
And no, the second one's gonna come out soon.
Oh,
Hellblade.
Hellblade.
Yeah, Hellblade. I've been kind of eyeing that one up. I've actually been eyeing up Blair Witch as well, just for the experience of playing it.
Yeah, just give it a shot.
Yep. I've also been thinking about Wednesday nights, bringing the Wednesday night thing back. It just never had a lot of basically the Wednesday night thing was when I would typically play indie games. But due to the fact that a lot of the indie games nobody's ever heard of as far as the search volume and actual viewership on those videos, it never really took off anything. Like, you know, there's not a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Traction. Yeah, traction. There's never really a lot of traffic or traction on those, and they took a really long time to edit when I was done playing them, so it was kind of like, eh. But I might bring it back just because I actually enjoyed playing those games anyways, and I haven't done that in a while, and I used to love playing indie games.
Yeah, indie games are great. It's a great way to experience a lot of new stuff and new creative stuff.
Yeah, that's actually, and there are some fucking gems out there, dude. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that Courage the Cowardly Dog game is a great time. It is a great game.
I got a suggestion. Yume Nikki is a really good psychological horror game, indie game. It's made all in like RPG Maker.
Oh, really? When you say that, though, I have a picture in my brain of what the game looks like, because almost all RPG Maker games look the same.
Yeah, no, it does.
And
but
so
this is actually a really good, interesting.
Oh, Yume Nikki, Yume Yumeniki.
Yeah, I do believe.
Yeah, I pulled it up. Oh, it kind of
It's on
has
Steam now.
It has that oh, what's that game?
like Earthbound look. to
Yes,
it, or,
that's
like, a
thank you.
little
You're
Final
so good
Fantasy.
at doing what you just did just now.
You know, man,
You are
like,
so good at that.
I try.
Yeah, but it does. It has that Earthbound look to it. It looks kind of dope. Yeah, maybe I'll check
You
it
know,
out.
some people are good at math. Some people are good at science. They're like fucking geniuses. I just,
And you know how to save the day when your friends forget shit.
Yep. I
So,
know how to spout out video games like crazy.
yeah, I've actually been thinking about taking another look at Bendy.
Mhm.
Because there's a lot of subtle things that I kind of overlooked. There's a term that I already forgot. What is it called?
Nice.
Asset cluster, asset clutter, asset something like that. But it's the idea of, like, say you're in a game and you're playing, and there's noise, asset noise, I think is what it's called, and it's like you got things on the table over here and pictures on the wall, and you got graffiti over there, and you got it's literally asset noise, and when I was playing it the first time, I was more paying attention to the story and to the, what was immediately going on in front of you, and not really, because a lot of the assets are just reused over and over and over again. But watching some videos on the lore of it, there's a lot of stuff I didn't notice.
That's what's great about things, especially like horror games, is that they have such a high replay value once you actually understand the story and everything. Going back and playing them again, and now putting everything that you've learned in your past playthrough into context, and getting, looking at everything else in the world and putting that into context of everything that's going on that you already know, from your previous playthrough, adds a whole nother dimension to the lore and the game.
Right. So I might take another look at that. But other than that, the only thing. Oh, I do want to try to really hard to stick to the game plan of this week. Which, if you guys are interested, I'm thinking about bringing back some kind of schedule where start making moves. Actually, is a better way of putting it. Trying to get the crew on board with getting some Grand Theft Auto in, because everybody in our group has been saying let's do it. The only thing that's hard about it is getting everybody on at the same time. And the other thing that's difficult about it is that type of game is a social experience. So audience, friends, if you're interested in jumping into our GTA soft RP, my cousin was over the other day, and I was showing him videos of us playing that, and he's like, "You guys aren't RPing at all. That's not RP." I'm like, "Shut the hell up, dude." He's like, "No, when you die, you don't say anything." I'm like, "Bro, chill out." Like, so it's RP with fun. But it's a lot better of an experience when you have a server with a bunch of people on it. So that also is a message out there for the ARC players. We have an ARC server that I need to throw some updates on it. Mark and I are going to get together and switch out a couple mods, or at least one specific one. I don't know why. I think a part of me is a little... The other day I was trying to think of what is the subconscious background thing that's making me procrastinate with doing that, and I think it's just there's a little worry there that we're going to break it in the amount of time that we spent building it in the first place. I need to just get over that, whatever it is, and just get this done. We'll make a backup, so if anything goes wrong, we can just revert. But does that fix the food trough thing, as far as you're aware?
Yeah.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, that's particularly why I'm doing it. And they put out an update, I think, like last month on the mod, so it's still like regularly updated.
Oh, that's dope. Yeah, because the other one's not being
Plus
updated at all anymore. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's that. I actually do want to start getting into, and actually I'll probably be talking to you about this also, Mark. I have a story in my head that I really want to turn into a game, but I don't know a damn thing about it. And from what you've told me, what is it? Is it It's not. Is it Unity? What was it? Source? What was it that you said was a pretty straightforward? Of course, there's a lot of learning involved, but the platform people use to make a lot of games on, Unreal, I think, is what you're saying. The Unreal Engine.
Unreal, Unity. Those are all pretty standard.
Bro!
Pretty standard.
I looked up a video, games built with Unreal Engine. I could not
Thieves.
believe.
It's like
Not-
everything.
Final Fantasy VII Remake
Yeah!
is made with Unreal.
That's
Yeah,
yeah.
Half the games I'd say that are popular right now are made with Unreal.
Yeah.
What? What do people do? They just use like 3D Maker Max or whatever to make the assets, and then they bring them into this thing.
Yeah, they use.
Is that how that
Blender or
works?
some
Yeah, you go into
proprietary-
Blender or Maya or Mudbox and create your meshes, create your sculptures, you apply your textures, you import that in Unreal, and
And then
It's
it's
go.
easy.
and then
super
it's
simple.
and then it's basically the Skyrim creation kit, from what I've gathered. Like
Yeah,
you can just pull the assets in, put them together, and then
personally, I'd say it's easier than the Skyrim kit because, like Bethesda's creation kits, they're a lot more coding and they're not very user friendly. I'm not gonna say
okay.
UE is very user friendly, but the blueprint system makes it a lot easier to get things done.
All right. Well, I
compared
was
to other languages.
You don't necessarily really need a huge knowledge of coding
Yeah.
to make something.
well, that's good to know because I spent a lot of time in the creation engine, the creation kit. So if I can figure that out, I should be able to figure this out. Yeah, I think maybe.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You'll have a blast.
Okay. God, it's gonna be another thing that I end up getting hooked to.
At
you got.
that point, you can put it on a resume. You could put it on
Yep.
your portfolio website. You could say, "Hey, I can model all this shit. Hey, I made all these games. Look at me. Give me a job."
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
You guys are gonna be like, Jeff, jump into Sea of Thieves with us, and I'll be like, no, I gotta finish this asset thing. I have a problem.
Character's not teleporting. It shoot forward and it just goes around when it's hitting.
Oh,
I'll
boy.
fucking get it.
I'm getting like Vietnam style flashbacks from like coding in high school.
Well, I don't know how useful this is now, but Walker just told me to tell you you're muted.
Oh man,
Who?
I don't know. Is that on my stream or his stream?
that's probably
Mark.
me.
Mark, you're
Yeah.
muted.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah. Well, good to know though.
Not unreal.
Yeah. So I
Don't
might.
worry, you were perfectly hearable on my
On
on
mine
my
too.
recording, so.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I was able to hit. I was able.
So I'm actually gonna start looking into that a little bit. It's about Inner Earth. A lot of fringe science stuff in it. But other than that, you can find me on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. I have Instagram, Twitter, Splash Screen Gaming on Facebook and YouTube. Twitter, Splash Screen G. And actually, Facebook, I think, is Team Splash Screen, along with Instagram. So I'm out there. I don't really update it as much as some of these other guys. But other than that, I hope everybody has a good week. How about
Yeah,
you?
know it.
Is it just me left?
Did you, Jeff? You said how about you? And there's three of us.
Yeah.
No, I was hoping somebody would just grab it. Somebody would
Alright,
grab
I'll
the
go.
mic.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
no,
No. You said that.
Fine.
Go ahead.
Fuck it. All right. So what am I going to be doing this week? I'm glad you asked. All right. So
Nate, what are you going to be doing this week?
I'm glad you asked. So what I'm going to be doing this week is I'm going to be playing some more of that Naruto game I was talking about, Naruto Road to Boruto Shinobi Striker. I'm going to be streaming, hopefully going to be streaming some BeamNG.drive. I just want to see what's going to happen, and people seem to be interested in that game. As I said, it's a soft physics driving simulator, and I'm not usually too into those kind of games, but like the fact that you can like fuck around with the gravity, like what it would be like on the moon, Jupiter, Mars, Uranus, all that shit. Like, yuck it up, yuck it up. All right.
I
So-
said Uranus.
All right. So, other than that, I've said this the last 3 fucking times, but can we play fucking Smash this week? Because I want to stream that.
Let's
I
play
can't.
Smash this week.
Well,
Yeah,
Jeff,
Jeff,
you
why
can
not?
be with us. You can be their spiritual.
That's while I'm
Oh,
working on.
commentary.
I'll play that.
Commentate.
Yeah.
Commentate.
Yeah, I'll commentate.
Oh yeah.
Actually, that would.
I'd probably be good at it, actually.
Yeah. No,
There
I
was,
agree.
bro. One night we were playing. It was when Doomfist first came out. There was an. I don't even. I think I might have the stream like recorded, but one night it was when he first came out. I started doing that on open mic, and some people thought it was really funny, and other people got super annoyed. But I was basically commentating the whole match. But that would be cool. Yeah, that'd be cool if you guys stream that. I'd watch it.
No, for sure. Other than that, I think if we can get a bunch of people in there, like we did that one night where we had 4 people on each team, we had a total of 8. I would like to stream some custom games for Siege. I think that'd be fun. Even just normal shit on Siege, I'd like to stream. I know James has been doing that every now and then. Seems to be
Now
a
and then
decent little
once.
turnout. I thought you'd done it twice so far.
Oh no, I did do it twice. Yeah, there's Rainbow Six, and then there was more Rainbow Six with friends plus
Yeah.
Worms WMD.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, we played
Worms.
that too.
Yeah, Worms.
I did.
I
play
watched
Worms.
you guys
I
play that.
don't know if I enjoyed Worms or not.
You gotta give it another
was-
try.
It was something. I don't know. I don't think I even really wanted to play it that night to begin with, but I was like, yeah, fuck it, why not? But yeah, I'll definitely give it a shot.
That's how I am every
than
time
that-
you guys ask me to play Siege. I'll play, but I don't want to play.
Yeah.
I'm just doing it because I want to hang out with my friends.
Fucking
Yeah.
gods.
Yeah.
Me playing Risk yesterday.
Yeah, me and Mark playing Risk yesterday.
It's like,
Fuck
I
yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
Oh man, this took like 12 seconds to download. Fuck.
God damn it, I can't blame it on the download time.
Yeah. Not gonna be able to. It just won't download. Oh, fuck it, downloaded.
Damn.
But yeah.
This mobile game sure did not take a lot of time to download.
No, it's like 700 megs. Other than that, I
That's too
actually
much.
I might stream some Soul
Risk.
Worker, which is an interesting game. It's a anime-esque MMO. It looks fun. I haven't got to play it yet, but I think I'm gonna stream. I'm gonna stream fucking anything this week. I want to stream. I haven't done that in a while. I have to do some tweaking.
Do it.
Can't think of anything else. But yeah, you can find me on all social medias at YFKitsune, except Ubisoft. That's YFKII soon. Just another I, because
Yeah, it
I'm
is.
pretty sure I fucked myself over with the Ubisoft account from my PlayStation when I made that. But yeah, I have my own name, but I can't use it. It's fun. But other than that, not a whole lot for me. If I do everything I want to do this week, I'm also going to be doing some music stuff. I plan on trying to have at least a 2 to 3 minute song done by the end of the week ish.
Nice.
But yeah, that's a goal. By probably Sunday, I'll say.
I'll have to sit in
So
with you
starting
guys
this
one
week.
of these days when you're doing that. Because I have
Bro,
thousands of
Ableton-
hours in Fruity Loops, so I'm sure I can figure out Ableton.
Yeah, it has a
Ableton's
90-day
so much
free
easier than
trial.
FL Studio.
I swear to God, I just choose to pick the most complicated shit you can find.
Yeah, I started with FL as well, and then AIM was like, "Yo, you should try out Ableton." I'm like, "I already have FL. I don't need another one. We'll try it out. We'll see what happens." And I'm like, "Holy shit!" Like, you literally just put a thing in here, double click on that, it gives you a big pattern. You're like, "Okay," and then your song's just a page, and you just keep putting them in a line, and you play it through it, and that's it. Like, the pattern, like, the way it does patterns is so much easier than FL. Like,
Okay.
it's crazy.
That's dope.
I've watched
Yeah,
him work on content. And the thing too is, I don't know if it's just the program, but he pushes music out fast.
Yeah,
Aim
the
right.
program definitely helps.
For
with
those that don't know,
Yeah.
our buddy Aimright has a Twitch, and he occasionally will stream himself producing typically really good music.
Yeah.
Aimright,
He also
is it?
makes music for people who need it.
Yes, he does. He does
He's
do
on
that.
Fiverr.
He is
Yeah.
on Fiverr.
He's commissionable, and he's actually really good at it.
Yes,
They
amazing.
made the opening to this podcast.
Yeah.
He did. He did actually. I'm gonna look up his to make sure it's not like Aimright Gaming or something.
It's just aim right.
Is it just Aimright? Okay.
Yeah,
Check him out.
Ableton on a 90-day free trial. Just grab it.
Plus, he's a cool ass dude, so be sure to check out his work.
Oh, 100%. Aim's one of my favorite people. But yeah, other than that, nothing much for me. That's it. One of
Yeah,
you
it's
two
just
go.
Aimright.
Whoever wants to go. You know,
I mean, I
James
guess I'll
said
go.
something, so
Yeah,
You
I'll
go.
go. So you know, it's gonna be the same shit. It's gonna be the same exact shit. I'm gonna procrastinate and not play Resident Evil 3. I can already tell you right now.
The struggle's
I'm gonna
real,
say I'm gonna
dog.
play-
The
I'm gonna
struggle's
say that
real.
I'm gonna play Resident Evil 3, but then I'm gonna flip the script and say no, I'm gonna play Final Fantasy 7 because this game's great, and maybe play like Rainbow Six or something because you fuckers can't let me just play my own games. Everyone has to dogpile and be like, no, play this, you fucking goob. Now I'm like, fine, okay, I'll play this. I am not a goob.
Peer pressure.
I am not a goob.
And then whenever we decide to stream Smash Bros, I'll probably stream it as well.
Mhm.
So you can find me at twitch.tv/People8Studios. If you missed a stream, you can watch my archives at youtube.com/People8Studios, which maybe this week, who knows, since we are now in the yellow, the Dave yellow, I might be able to get some recording in this week. Maybe. The lockdown is
Right.
not as badly in effect.
Because Dave has been preventing James from being able to make content this whole time.
Exactly. So that might Yakuza 0 and Final Fantasy might be coming back.
That'd be dope.
YouTube.com/People8Studios. And then you can find me at Twitch or at Twitter at People810. Hey Mark, what you
Oh,
up
hey
to
there,
this week?
guys.
How you
can
doing
watch
up
me make
there?
Mediocre content on YouTube and Twitch at MarkDude701. If I ever end up streaming, who knows with my schedule, but if I ever end up doing that, you can either watch me play some Sea of Thieves, some Skate, or some Planet Coaster. Who knows? It'll be great either way.
Nice. Oh,
But
no,
that's all for me.
are you sure it's gonna be great and not mediocre?
I mean, I'm just.
It's gonna be
trying
the
my
best
you
damn
know?
mediocre content you've ever
It's gonna be
seen.
the
You're gonna
Yep.
see so much effort coming out of that content. It's gonna
Yeah.
be ridiculous.
There's a lot of mediocre content there, and all
You're
of that
like the
is
upper
number
echelon of
2.
mediocrity.
Right. You're number 1, the rest are number 2 or somewhere lower on that list.
Straight mediocreness. But yeah, that's all for me for this week.
I do happen to have one more quick thing to add to my week. This possible, one more possible thing for this week. I believe I'm gonna actually finally stick to my word and get my my in the defense of the villain little channel going. All comic based DC and Marvel villains. I still have to get my villain encyclopedia for Marvel, but I have my villain encyclopedia for DC. We're actually like a foot away from me. But yeah, I'm gonna start doing the
Now you have
backstories,
to
why
do
they
it.
are the way they are, and it's gonna
Whether
be a fun
it's
time.
justifiable.
Yeah, like realistically,
Is the
if
villain
they're, like,
justify-
genuinely Yeah, like kind of like how we were talking with like Kira, not Kira, but Light. So like, if the character is truly just an evil, wretched, deep seething hatred, no soul human being or monster, whatever he may be,
Right.
or if he has a tragic enough backstory that you can at least sympathize with why he may have done what he did, or at least have like an idea, maybe not even tragic backstory, but like, and like so in the concept of Thanos, like
That's funny. I was
Thanos
just
could eat-
thinking Thanos because
Thanos
he's
could eat a
actually
dick for what happened to my man's Tony, but I get what he was doing.
right. I literally just watched a video today that was kind of romanticizing him as kind of is anti-hero too strong of a word?
100%. He's a downright villain, but he's a justifiable villain. You can
Right, because he
understand and
thinks what he's
sympathize.
doing is for the best. Like he doesn't want what happened to his planet to happen to any other planets. So he goes to these planets and just extincts half the population.
The problem was he went in an extremist version of what he was trying to do, or what he should have.
That reminds me of a conversation we had a couple days ago, actually,
Yeah.
about ending racism across the planet.
Oh, yeah. Let's not get into that here. That's our personal conversation.
Video games, movies, and yeah.
Pure randomness.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pure
well,
Damn it,
randomness.
fuck, that could be put under pure randomness. Shit.
Yeah, we'll move on
But,
from that. But
Yeah, I'm really excited to start
Beyond
doing
part of
that.
Bed Bath & Beyond.
I'm also gonna do. I'm gonna try to do more stuff with comics because, as I said earlier in the video, in like the beginning, I miss doing comic stuff in any form. So even if they're just like small updates on like Snapchat or something. And actually, Snapchat's the only thing that's not YF Kitchen. That's actually 010.
Spelt out?
Yeah,
Ooh woo. Or ooh woo. Sorry.
010. I did it when I was like 17, and I thought it was edgy, but it was also a play on binary code. So that's what I did it for. It's actually XERO1ZERO.
That is so difficult. I'm so
Jesus
sorry.
Christ.
Wonder where you
Good luck.
Yeah, actually, I rarely talk about that, but on Snapchat, I plan on starting to do. I want to do like a daily or an every other daily, like quick little story about a character or so. So I might start doing that either this week or next week. I haven't decided which one I'm gonna do, but I might just make a specific YF Kitsune account just for that, so y'all don't have to try to figure out what the fuck I'm on. But yeah, that's it for me actually now.
Okay.
Hey,
Well,
I think
Dib.
that's a show.
That
That
is a
sounds
That was
a
a show,
podcast.
yeah. I think that was a pretty
Hey,
good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a pretty long one. Hey, guys,
It was.
if someone wants to connect with us, where can they go to?
Well, here we have a Discord channel
I do. I think we also have a thing called a Patreon.
and an email address. And we're
We
on
do.
Facebook.
And, we
And
have an
in
official
Twitter?
Twitch channel now.
Yeah,
What's
and
what's
an official
that Twitter
Twitch.
page called though? James, do you remember?
Oh, fuck. I don't know, man.
I know
I
it's
think it's like-
complicated.
I
Is it
think it's
really?
like, let me, here, it's on my phone. It's Mark, you finally responded to that text.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for letting me know I was muted, Walker. Yeah, you missed my couch about Unreal Engine, but that's not important.
It looks like it's, the Twitter account is at LVL Unlocked Pod?
That is.
LVL Unlocked Pod? What fucking loser made that? Oh, wait, I made that.
Yeah.
That's also our email address, isn't it?
No, it's Level
Level
Unlocked
Unlocked
Podcast at gmail.com.
Okay.
That's
That's the
Level
wrong
Unlocked
voice.
Podcast at
Yeah.
gmail.com.
You can also support our Patreon at patreon.com/levelunlockpodcast.
And be sure to
yeah.
subscribe to our newly created Twitch page,
Oh,
which
yeah, we got
will
a brand new Twitch channel. It's going to be hosting all of us. So if you want to keep up to date on what each one of us is doing on Twitch, you can see it all there at twitch.tv/levelunlockpodcast. It's
Hell yeah.
twitch.tv/levelunlockpodcast.
And don't forget to go to levelunlockpodcast.podbean.com or wherever you get your podcast to listen to this.
Did you guys
After the
see
fact.
how many people? Like, thank you guys, man. I'm 5,300 and something.
It's unbelievable.
That is actually. I didn't think. I'd never.
Yeah.
I never really thought that. I mean, I don't know. I didn't think the
I'm
channel would.
happy with
I'm.
10.
Yeah.
Everybody listens to it. I'm happy. Like,
Right. So
as long
thank
as
you.
I'm not doing this for no reason. Like,
Yeah.
it's definitely great.
It is pretty dope.
As long as
Awesome.
one or two people get enjoyment, I'm chilling.
Yeah, that's good enough for me. Well, hey guys, I guess we'll see you guys next week
True.
Absolutely.
True.
for another
Everybody,
Level Unlocked podcast.
All right, guys.
have a good
Y'all
night,
have a
guys.
good night. Signing off. Have a good one.
Peace. Thank you for your time.
Bye.
Let the credits roll.
Let the credits roll. Let it credit roll. Let it credit roll. Let it roll. 3.5 hour podcast. What?
How
We
was it?
start early, but go an hour later.
Yeah.
Sometimes, depending.
It was good though. Talked about a lot of stuff.
So, just want to let you guys know.
It's just the post amble.
No. Are you?
Yeah, this is going off.
Here, let me go into Patreon real quick.
If you want to give it a second, because the mic stays open for this part.
Yeah, you're good.
You know how that goes.
I was gonna
I know.
ask a question and I forgot what it was.
I forgot what.
So, for that thingy that we do on the Patreon,
Which one?
the personal piece
Oh yeah, where we write something. Yeah.
is if we have like a script or something, Are we able to? Does it have to be written? That's fine if so. I just wondering, are we able to do like a vocal piece?
Or a
You do
YouTube video
whatever you
type thing,
want,
even
baby.
just some sort
Yeah,
of
like-
contribution to it.
Yeah,
don't see why
because
not.
I hate typing, truthfully, and like I can do like a video or something. I'm gonna do something regardless, but just wondering.
Yeah, you could do however you feel
Cool.
comfortable.
Awesome. Yeah. All right, let's see if anyone's doing anything online. Is AIM online? I think AIM's just dead in the water on Ableton.